Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. It's been over a month since the last one. I believe this is actually. Do you remember what episode we're on? Is it like 9 or 10? I actually didn't check before.
I think we're on the 10th episode.
Okay, yeah, I
If
want
not,
to say 10 because I know like we're getting there. But
you
that's
know,
what I get for not double checking. What's up
you
though?
know what? I can check that shit right now.
I mean, you could, yeah. While I, very professional. Can you tell it's not scripted, people? But yeah, no. I believe it's episode 10. But if not, whatever episode it is, the new one. We're we're back. It's kind of funny. I mentioned, I believe, last month I was gonna try to do two, but that never ended up happening because a lot of other stuff took precedence. I think the last time we recorded, we weren't even in the middle of this whole pandemic thing. I believe. Like, I think it was
It
just before it was
was,
about to happen.
yeah, I believe it was just like we were just in the beginning of it.
Oh, give me a sec. Interruption.
Okay,
Okay, sorry about that.
all right, and
Yeah,
I can confirm that are we doing this or still going?
Yeah, we're still going. I didn't pause recording or anything.
All right, cool. So yeah, I can confirm. Yeah, we were on episode 10. So we're on the 10th episode, people.
Damn, double digits. I can't believe this, and I didn't even bother check because I was in a rush, so yeah, sorry about that. But good to know. Yeah, so we're on episode 10. We'll get into it in a second, but as always, I'm your host, Marcos Molina, and always joined by my co-host, Fatal Brace of Soul. How you doing, man? What's good?
I'm doing alright. Just surviving during this current situation right now.
I miss my gym. Just think of that Wolverine like photo edit from yesterday.
I think that's like everyone that has like gone to the gym or just like missing it at the gym.
Pretty much. Oh man. Yeah, it's weird. Like, just to think about it, like when I was asking that, I was like, wow, yeah, the last time we recorded it we weren't even in the middle of this whole social distancing quarantine stuff. My goodness.
Mm.
But anything, I don't know if you want to start with your week or I start with mine. Or not even week, sorry, what am I talking about? More like your month. Cause yeah, we do these almost like every other month now.
Yeah,
Actually eat one each.
yeah.
But yeah.
I'd say I'll start since you started last week, I believe. I mean last month. See, here I go.
I mean, listen, man, you could tell me whatever you want and I'll believe you. So yes, I probably did go first. So since that's 100% fact, you go.
All right, so as of this recording is it's definitely like a day after my birthday and a day before Trials of Mana is about to drop.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if Canada Post doesn't screw me over once again.
Dude, hopefully for me too, because I know today I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I saw Mr. and Best Buy saying, that the order was delayed, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, I just woke up to this, it's the day before. And then like 4 hours later, I got a message saying that it shipped, so I don't know what to believe anymore. Maybe it'll show up on Saturday instead of Friday. I don't know, man. But yeah, hopefully I get it tomorrow too. Anyway.
Yeah, obviously, like, I'm still, like, surviving. Thankfully, I haven't got sick or anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I protect, like, I wear my mask and my gloves whenever I have to go do some shopping or go to the bank. And, I mean, like, so far, pretty much I've been, like, binging, like, a lot of stuff and playing some games. And yeah, I mean, I think that's like for everyone. That's like either they're playing games, binging, or just like talking to peeps online.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, right? Because not necessarily related to me, but kind of a little bit. The reason I was interrupted so much before starting up this recording is I was actually helping my parents downstairs because I basically offered since grandparents were visiting. They're basically doing their church events like online via like I guess like another voice to application called like Zoom, which I've never used, but I guess it's what they're using. And I offered, okay, well, since I'm recording this podcast today, they could use my webcam since it's gonna be like four people in the same room. Might as well have something that's like wide, 1080p HD camera as opposed to the laptop built-in one that they always use. But it's just crazy how I mentioned this on stream at 1.2, right? Where it's like these people, especially people who are like older than us that aren't really tech savvy, they kind of got to know what streaming is now, right? If you don't know what streaming is in this moment in time, you are way behind. Like it's kind of insane. They're kind of forced to learn this stuff now that I've had to do for well over 5 years. It's just funny to see, that they actually know what streaming is now if I try to bring it up to them.
Yeah, it also doesn't help with like what you call my sister's kids where they have to do online classes, and one of them knows how to use like tech, while the younger one like is still learning like how streaming and other things work.
Yeah, because it's weird. Like, there's going to be a lot of cases where people are just going to have the wrong settings on, and someone's going to either have the worst mic possible with the built in laptop, like where it just picks up all the fan noise and everything, or someone will actually, be savvy enough to know what the best settings are. But my God, the contrast. Some people are going to suffer, some people are going to thrive, but that's how it is.
Yeah, like funny look at when you speak of that is that like for example like my mom like has like a computer, right, where she hasn't like used it for a while
Yeah.
because she's mostly been using her not her laptop, tablet, and her tablet is slowly breaking down, and I'm like, you know what, like I saw like this video on YouTube of this like new Linux operating system called Endless OS.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
And
I've heard of it, but yeah, go on.
so the cool thing like about this thing is that like when you boot it up, right, like the UI looks like your smartphone or tablet UI.
Huh. But what's the advantage to switching it over to that for her?
Is that like she's able to watch like certain things, like certain websites that she's not able to on her tablet.
Ah,
That
okay.
and she's able to like read the news like on a bigger screen.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely like a perfect like operating system for those who, for example, like if you're like someone like my mom who only just browses, who just surfs the web and just uses YouTube, then uh, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cool part is it comes packed with like lots of like apps and stuff, and it even has like a cool little app store, which all of it is like for free to download.
Hmm.
And shouts, to that operating system where like one of the pre-installed stuff is freaking
Yeah.
Audacity if you want to learn how to like audio edit on the computer.
Nice. God.
Yeah, and thanks to that, like I've been learning more stuff about like the Linux operating system,
Hmm.
which it's a very interesting thing to learn. Which I will not get into since it's mostly just mumbo jumbo,
Yeah, I'd
like tech
imagine you got to jump
mumbo
through more
jumbo.
hoops. you know, it's like
Yeah.
independent, but that doesn't mean that you don't got to work for it.
Yep.
Lord, I
And
already have
that's
enough issues doing OBS troubleshooting and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm good.
yeah. It's like I said, like everyone like has like their own experience levels when it comes to like technology,
Yep.
and obviously like I've been mentioned before, I've been binging like a lot of shows where I've been watching like lots of Kamen Rider, watching like the current one is Kamen Rider 01,
Yeah.
very fun show, and I've also been doing a rewatch of the original Kamen Rider, which thankfully got like an official release on a streaming service for free.
Is it all the episodes or just a few?
Oh, it's the entire season, my dude. Like all 97
But that's
episodes.
unrelated to the YouTube one that you mentioned before, right?
Oh, dude. So I would talk about is that so there's like this company, right, where they've managed to get the rights to like sub and stream Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Because like obviously before, like if you want to watch Kamen Rider, you have to like watch it like via other methods, which people I know other people aren't comfortable with.
And even then, I remember with Arcadius, it's hard. It's hard to even find them because they really do get pulled down.
Yes, it's a struggle. Like especially like if you want to recommend the show and you have to like show them to these places.
Yeah.
And the only legal ones, like before you can watch for Kamen Rider wise, was it was only just Kamen Rider Amazons, which is a reboot of Kamen Rider Amazon on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And thankfully, like out of nowhere, like I was just scrolling on my Twitter feed, and then someone found like, oh, you can finally watch like the original Kamen Rider, like all 97 episodes, like the original show, like for free with subs. And I'm like, cool. And it was up for a while until someone found out it was a leak, and it got taken down. But then it finally
Yeah.
got back up.
Rip.
So anyone that's like want to like watch something or bid something, or just want to see a show that's like similar to Power Rangers but except in a different tone, you definitely gotta watch like the original Kamen Rider on TBTV. And as a disclaimer, we are not paid or endorsed by
Yeah.
this
Oh
company.
man. You think we're big enough to get sponsors, y'all? This ain't even getting 50 views. I'd imagine.
Uh,
Holy crap! Could you imagine if somebody thought? But no, yeah. It's fair to let them know because it's like in the future, who knows? Maybe this gets in the thousands somewhere in the future. But
yep.
no, right now, super small. Yeah, no way we're sponsored.
Yeah. Just imagine like someday we're just gonna get a call from like TBTV being like, "Hey, would you like to give a shout out to our shows on our streaming service?"
We'll give you 5 fun bucks.
I'm like,
God,
deal.
I'll take it. God.
But like but so far like it's really nice. Uh, Pretty much like the service, it's kind of like Netflix except it's for free. Obviously, ad
Mm-hmm.
supported, and pretty much like you can watch like the original Kamen Rider like all 97 episodes. Like literally, it's like the only one in the series that's like the longest season compared
Oh,
to the
dude,
other
wait.
seasons.
Do you remember what that other place was? Oh god, it was like retro something that you mentioned that had like tons of like old school anime like for free.
Oh, wait. I'll get to that like in a moment actually. So
Yeah.
obviously, like as it's up to TV currently is only available for like Canada, US, and Mexico. I've heard Australia has as well, but I'm not sure. But if you find a way to get like a VPN, then it's a more I heard it's more a piece of cake to like VPN TV compared to Netflix.
Yeah, I
If
can
you like
imagine.
live, yeah, if you live like in Europe or other places. And other if you want to see just the first episode, like internationally, you can check it like on the Tokusatsu YouTube channel for the first Kamen Rider episode.
Yep.
And one didn't help is that like with Toei, right? They decided to launch their own YouTube channel called Tokusatsu World, which is pretty much like a just a channel of like official subs of most of their Tokusatsu stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them that I spotted was Shin Kamen Rider, the movie.
God.
So if you want to watch like one of the fucked up like versions of Kamen Rider, then you should check out Shin Kamen Rider.
Which, by the
On
way, I should. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say I should preface this as well. So some people might be, being like, "What the heck is Common Writer?" Because there are those people. I
oh
didn't know
yeah,
about
that's right.
Common Writer till about like three years ago. I want to say, TLDR. It's pretty much like Japan's, or like honestly, just the Eastern version of what Power Rangers was for kids growing up in the West. Basically, imagine a ton of shows that are basically in that same structure. Monster fights, people in like these glorious over the top costumes. The fights are like insane, sometimes practical, sometimes cheesy. But it's all great. It's basically just that if I had to simplify it to a way that a Westerner could understand, It's basically
Yeah,
Japanese Power Rangers.
yeah. I mean, pretty much like if you love Power Rangers or ever seen like Ultraman, you will dig it. It's also
Yeah.
because like fun fact is like Kamen Rider is by the same production company that also makes the Super Sentai, aka Japanese Power Rangers,
Yep.
along with Ultraman.
The more you know.
Yep.
Although I will say, sometimes not as hokey or cheesy as Power Rangers, I have to say. Because Arcadius for me was the one who introduced me to it, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw Gaim, and for me, I was like, oh my god, that is like. I was not expecting it to be so damn good for like storytelling and like what it was. That my expectations were very low, just because I was expecting it to be like a little more like campy, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
But my god, like it's some of those stories are actually pretty good. Hit or miss though. It's not all going to be consistent quality. Every series usually has like a different director or different people on board.
Yeah, it's like similar with like Power Rangers. Like there's like different seasons with their own themes and stories. Like some of them will be like pretty awesome, badass, or some of them will be pretty campy, or some of them like is a season just like not meant for you.
Yeah, or it might just have that one annoying side character that's I just can't stand, but I'm not gonna get into that because we'd be here all day.
Yeah. But as I say, as for the original commenter, right, is that if you don't mind, like, it's obviously like filmed from like the 70s, so if you don't mind, of how aged it is, like, of how old it is, then if you don't mind, like, of how campy, like, on certain episodes, then it's a good watch.
Yeah,
And not to mention, it's definitely very binge worthy since like 97 episodes, which still to this day is the longest Kamen Rider season out of all the
yeah,
Kamen Rider
that's
like
nuts.
seasons
Yeah,
in
because I was gonna
history.
say I did not know it had that many. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's it's quite insane. And then with I think best way I think my favorite description of my friend described is that man gets a belt and then turns into a big ass grasshopper.
God,
Yeah, and I told him is that like yeah, if you're trying to explain like the original Kamen Riders.
pretty much.
Yeah, because obviously, like the show started. I think the original like era, like from the 70s all the way to the 80s, and then the extended 90s is mostly just like grasshopper themes, and then that's
Yeah.
when they strayed out from the grasshopper theme. When they got into the Heist era, which is around the 2000s, and then once
Hmm.
we got into the new era, like as of right now, they went back into the grasshopper once again
Yeah, I
with
believe all the ones that I've seen were Heisei. They definitely
yeah,
weren't the old ones yet.
yeah. So pretty much like with the Rera era, it's they went back to the grasshopper again,
Noise.
which is pretty fitting. And I would explain is that like for Kamen Rider Shin, right, is that I don't want to say too much, but it's quite an interesting spin-off into the series that was like aimed at adults.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
ask more, but probably need to watch for myself.
yep. And best part, it's subbed in for free on YouTube.
Yep.
And I also do know that like the people that are like are bringing that brought over the original Kamen Rider, they also teased that like something for next month for May.
Hmm.
So hopefully, which means they'll bring in like the rest of the series slowly.
Maybe.
I mean, I'll be impressed if they did.
Yeah. I'd imagine I'd have to pay for it, but who knows? Maybe they could work something out.
Yeah, and besides that, like I've been using like that TBTV like a series for watch like other cartoons and also anime, which shouts to them for having like the entire show of Yu Yu Hakusho you can watch for free.
Oh man, that's all I needed to hear. I still got a God because I started it before when I was on this podcast, but God, I need to get back into it. It's just so hard to find the time in between streams and stuff.
Yeah,
I know Vex started
uh,
watching the show though.
yeah, yeah, like she started watching it. I'm glad, like, she's enjoying it. For anyone else like that also wants to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, you can just go to TBTV, just either browse the web or download the free app,
Yep.
and it's there, all of it, like, for free. And but speaking of other free stuff, is that again we're not even sponsored by this company either.
We're trying to tell you guys what you can do to save yourself from boredom, basically. But yeah.
Yes, I'm just giving like my personal recommendations, just because I love these certain shows that are part of the service. So there's like another new service that launched, right, which is called Retro Crush. And Retro Crush is just pretty much like filled with a bunch of like old school animes, like both in English dub and sub.
Yep.
And so far, like I'm liking the service what they have. Like I think that the shows I will recommend. What they have is that they have Samurai Pizza Cats in the English dub, which
Oh
is like the best
man.
way to watch that show.
Yeah. Lord.
And even friggin' like Great Teacher Onizuka, like also I prefer to watch it in English dub.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? They also have like Card Captors Sakura movie. Um, they got Bubblegum Crisis, both sub and dub. There's like just a bunch of shows, and hell, they even got like the Virtual Fighter anime,
Oh my
which is
god.
insane.
Yeah, would not be expecting that.
And they also added like a couple like of new shows recently, which they added the Street Fighter cartoon.
Oh man.
So if you want to know about the memes behind that wonderful show, then you gotta like watch out this app. And then the other biggest recommendation for me is y'all gotta watch some Cyber 6 for
Oh god,
realsies.
yeah, that's right.
Cause I don't know like how these guys did this, but Retro Crush just managed to get the rights to stream Cyber 6 for free.
God. The madmen. That's dope though.
It's really dope. Like I'm just glad that I'm able to, I'm just glad like they launched it like at a very good time when obviously everyone else are just like stuck in their house,
Yeah.
and even good for those like that aren't interested or can't afford Netflix either. And speaking of which I think also both of us did like during the month is, um, if you're able to afford Netflix, you owe it to yourself to watch Community.
Please, please do. Oh my lord. I'm only like I think like 14 episodes in. God, I can't believe how many episodes there are. It's so good. God, probably hitting like the tip of the iceberg as they say. Good god. TLDR, I guess, if anybody wants a summary. Basically, settings community college. A whole bunch, like, it's a cast of, like, I want to say 6 or 7 characters getting into tons of different scenarios, but the comedic writing is so good. Like, if you do not laugh per episode, like, several times, I don't know what to tell you, because a lot of those jokes hit. Not all of them, but oh my goodness, it's just hilarious. Like there are some characters that like their jokes remind me of my dumb jokes or the dumb stuff that happens in my brain when I want to say something in the moment. I'm just like it's so it's so real. Oh my god, especially Troy. Good lord. Troy is a freaking mood. Like every time I love that dude. But you guys got to get on it. It's a fantastic show. And there's like I said tons and tons of episodes. Like I think it's like 6 seasons.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if the
around.
episodes lengths vary per season, but there's a lot. I think season 1 from what I saw already has like 24, 25, somewhere around there, like mid 20s. It's insane. That's just one season.
Yeah, I believe like they cut it like slightly short for the other seasons.
Hmm.
but it's still like a good time. Like they got like obviously like many actors that you may know to this day. For example, like the character that plays Troy, which you may know of you as either Donald Glover or the Childish Gambino. This is like where
Yeah.
he got his start before his music career. And then we also
God.
got like my favorite character, Senior Chang, played by Ken Jeong, as you may know him as the the Asian drug dealer dude in fuck what's the name of the
I'd help you, but I don't think I'll know which one.
it was like about like these guys getting drunk at a wedding.
Oh,
Oh, The Hangover. There we go. The Hangover.
okay, okay. God, because I was I was gonna say that, but there was like another one that I was reminded of for a split second. But
Yeah.
man, that's nuts.
So if you know like that dude from The Hangover, who says you're gonna fuck on me, like he does like a really good job for his character in Community.
God. He's so good. I'm telling you guys, like there are so many. Like you've probably seen scenes from the Community, and you probably don't even know that it was from that show. Like I think you told me so. It's like pretty much like one of the most gifable shows right next to The Office, and I'm like, I keep seeing him more and more. The more I get on Twitter, I was like, oh my god, I recognize that now.
Yes, like if you ever seen like like an Asian dude looking at a small piece of paper, or or Donald Glover just like coming in with a box of pizzas while it's fire like in the building. That is from Community.
God, yeah, those are definitely like the two most popular. But my lord, it's it's so good. Like I love
It,
how I think like the arc system works like Twitter used like that. I think when the beta codes are about to go out soon and they use like that one of like Troy like rocking on the chair, just like how like what's taking so long? I was just like, oh my god. I watched it a few minutes later, I was like, oh my god, no. I completely get it now. Oh, it's so funny. You guys, seriously, if you're gonna do one thing and you have Netflix, oh my goodness, watch Community. Seriously.
it's so good. Like I'm just happy like to like rewatch the show and properly recommend the show to everyone because before it was a bunch of other services including Amazon Prime, but I do know the majority just prefer to watch on Netflix and I'm just glad
Yeah.
it's on Netflix.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, where has this been all my life? You know?
Holy shit! Like I know a friend of mine. He's been like recommending me to me, uh, bunch of times, but I just couldn't find a place to watch them until I had to
Yeah.
find like other places. Even including like my brother's like Amazon Prime thing that that he uses at his house. Like holy crap,
It is nuts.
it's really nuts. And mm, pretty much like I've been playing like some games here and there. Playing like just like some Sakura Wars just to get ready for the new one pretty soon.
Yeah, because the translation came out.
Yep. It's a really good translation and they did like a lot of insane work to you know make it feel professional as it is.
Nice. But did anything else happen or
Mm, nothing much besides my quarantine birthday party.
God, yeah, it must have been so weird. It's like, let's go out for your birthday. Oh, God,
Yeah, gotta
it'd be
wait till
like
this is
that.
over to celebrate properly.
Pretty much. Oh man.
Yeah, and all I can say is that um, GG's to everyone who are having like birthdays this year.
Yeah. God, mine's definitely gonna be in quarantine, but they could probably at least go out and like buy a cake or something. But man, it'd be like that.
Yeah, it really be like that. And obviously, like the most exciting part is obviously um getting like the games I order in the mail.
Yeah.
and hopefully the common time. Well, except for Suture H4 though, which we will
Yeah,
talk
because you're
about
gonna get
that
it
in a moment.
digitally, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. You're probably gonna get it that way too, because I think the only physical one is like limited run, and I learned my lesson from River City Girls. That took months. Uh, I'm definitely not doing that if I actually want to play the game in a reasonable time. You know. But
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, we'll talk about it later because it is on the news list.
Yeah. Besides that, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, I didn't do too much besides, like, obviously binging shows, including, like, some shows, like, I haven't seen for a long ass time, thanks to, like, Tubi TV
Yep.
and Retro Crush. And along with, like, playing, like, some Sakura Wars. And I believe I was playing another game. Actually, no, yeah, we were playing, GG Strive.
Yeah. Which did you
We'll
want to
get
get
to
into
it.
that now or?
We'll get to it, like, once we get to your month.
That's true. I'll probably say it for like the end, and then we can just both go in on it.
Yeah.
Man.
And and then finally, pretty much continuing like most of my workouts indoors, which thankfully I've learned how to do most of my workouts in my house.
Yeah. At this point, though, you kind of have to. Otherwise, oh man, there's going to be a lot of people that are just not fit after this is all over. Ooh, like they probably just gave up, right? They probably didn't try to find a way to make it work.
It's either that or there's like some crafty people that are able to make it work.
Yeah. But that's what I mean, though. Like, some people might just give up if they don't have the gym, you know?
Yeah, it's
Um,
understandable.
yeah. But anything else for your month?
That's pretty much it.
Okay. Um, then yeah, I guess for me, refresh my memory a little bit. Was
All
I
right,
playing Trails from Zero on episode 9, or was I waiting for the patch?
you were still waiting for the patch.
Okay. So I guess I could start with that then. So yeah, Trails from Zero finally came out. And spoilers, it's really, really good. Like, it's my god, like, kudos to that team. I doubt they're listening to this podcast, but I'll still say it anyway. Some of them already showed up when I seen the first part, which was really cool. But yeah, that thing is a labor of love. I can tell that they really made sure to just comb through that entire game, enhance it. Like, it's not just a fan translation. Oh my god, there are so many quality of life features that I feel spoiled rotten, like straight up.
He
Like
is spoiled as hell, man.
there's a like text log if you miss anything during a cutscene, which I've used like a few times during streams. The turbo mode is there that people know and love if they've played the PC games. Proper button control prompts based off like your settings, like if you want PS4 or DualShock controllers or like Xbox, like it's all there. There is just so much, including like texture reworks that make it look better in HD or make it look, more smooth. They've overhauled the game. Like, this is pretty much a remaster. It is not just a fan translation anymore. It might as well be a remaster, straight up. Like, it's insane how much work they did. It's incredible. If you have not played the game yet, long story short, this is like the fourth game in the series, but Trails from Zero is the first one in a duology, known as like the Crossbow arc. So it's entirely new setting, new characters. If you wanted to start here, I guess you could, but obviously Trails in the Sky is where I'd recommend. But yeah, this fan translation is fantastic. I've been loving it so far. I've only beaten chapter 1, or the prologue in chapter 1, technically. So it's still early for me because I've been trying to play it in between other games if I see I have like a week's span of time. But I've been enjoying it so far. It's great. I can't wait to play more in the future. But yeah, aside from that, the only other major thing was Doom Eternal came out afterwards. I was playing the prologue, and then Doom Eternal came out. And really quick impressions. That game is fucking sick. It's not a perfect game. There are some like level design choices that are just a little like they kind of halt the pace a bit, but it is there for variety. But I have to say, I definitely like that game more than Doom 2016. But I can see why some people still prefer 2016 over Doom Eternal. Simply because like Doom Eternal has a lot of variety and it's harder, but for some people they could see that as like 2016 having more focus, with like its setting and everything. And I get that, but for me, Doom Eternal is straight up a video gamey ass game, which I know a lot of people saying it's like, what does that mean? But it is so unabashedly like fun with its like level design gimmicks and just some of the hazards you have to deal with some of these arenas. Like it's so arcade like that it just does not care if it makes sense or not with the setting. They'll just put it in just to give you a nice challenge. um Ammo is sparse, but you gotta keep moving, like even more so than the 2016 game. It's tough. I played it on ultra violence, but it's satisfying to play. Like every option is used way more than 2016. 2016 was like the super shotgun game basically, but Doom Eternal like really makes you use your weapons, make sure you keep using that chainsaw for ammo and everything. It's such an awesome balance. I love that game. That game is just like, I don't know, man. Like it's this gameplay like rush, this like adrenaline you get when you play this game. It's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. I gave it like a 9 out of 10, but it's really good. I definitely recommend that for anybody who likes FPS games, or if you're like me and you've only messed around with like a few of them. Thoroughly enjoyed that game. But yeah, after that, I think I did chapter one of Trails from Zero, but Animal Crossing also came out. I didn't personally buy it, but I've been doing streams with my sister because she wanted to mess around with it. So I was like, okay. If I'm never gonna stream it or play it myself, I might as well, be there with my sister and see what the game's about. Because I played New Leaf on 3DS, but I couldn't really get into it. Like I played it for about like 2 weeks and then like dropped it. And then when I came back after like a month, I got like super guilt tripped by the villagers, like that either left or the town, everything was like a complete shambles. And I'm like, well, it's busy work. If I pick it back up, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like it's not catered to the way I want to play some of these games. Like I'm all for the real life sim aspect of it, like changing daily even while you're not playing. But it's hard for me when I want to play games and be done with them, or like pick them back up later. You know, I can't really do constant, especially if I'm streaming. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna ask about like anytime I get like a notification from you, you're like streaming Animal Crossing.
yeah, that's not me. I always mention on the tweets when I go live that it's my sister playing. I'm just tagging along just to see, because that's the
Matt,
thing. Like the well, sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say the gameplay structure. While it might not be my thing because I can't really do constant check-ins and playing like that because I move on to other games. I do still think a lot of the game is charming and like cute, and it's got like it's weirdly chill vibe that I've always liked about the series. It's just that the structure never meshed with me. So, um, it's still cool. With that being said, from what I've seen from my sister play, it seems like it's a really charming game, and more importantly, it's a very important game to come out considering the situation that we're currently in. Uh, a lot of people need that game, so I'm glad that it's out and people are enjoying it. Except for that damn what was it called? Think it was like Egg Day or something. Like they didn't call it Easter, but they just called it like Egg Day or something. That's that's very cursed. A lot of people don't want to see no eggs no more. Cause long story short, the first event they tried to do lasted for about 2 weeks, and it is so intrusive that even I just like, who would want this? And everybody on Twitter is just like, I hate this. Like the event ruined the game because long story short, whenever you wanted to fish or shake trees, or you see like a balloon up in the air for like a slingshot to get an item or something, uh you'd get an egg. There's like different eggs that you can use to like craft like furniture or materials or what have you. So let's say for example if you wanted to fish and you just wanted to get like the fish that would happen in that month, and you want to try to like get the collection for the museum or whatever, uh you'd have like a absurd like 70% chance that it would be a freaking sea egg instead. It is so intrusive to anything else you would want to do in the game. The spawn rate is way too damn high. All you're getting is these damn eggs. So to answer the question, may I offer you an egg in these trying times? No, actually, please. Stay away from those.
Dude, that sounds like a mod that's like made for like Proton John because eggs are his motif.
Yeah. It's so bad, dude. It's like it's just everywhere. Shake a tree, you might find an egg. Try to get like minerals or like iron nuggets or what have you from rocks. You might get an egg from that too. It is everywhere. And people just like they finished like there's like a set you gotta do, like a DIY recipes you could get for the event. People already finished that within like 2 days. It was so high to get that stuff. And they
That
expected that for
is
two
so
weeks.
weird.
Like it was so bad that they had to release a patch that like decreased the drop rates until actual Easter, like real time Easter day. Which makes sense, right? Because before with these games, it used to be a day only event, but now they're trying this thing where it's like a week or two, and it's like, guys, oh my god, crank it down just a ton, not even a tad, just like holy crap. So yeah, that was an awkward like 2 weeks with that until they finally patched it. Um, but yeah, aside from that, the game is fun. I have to stress. Um, but yeah, it's just that's cursed. I'd have to mention that because people know, like they'll know. It might sound like nonsense, but it's like trust me, the ones who played they know exactly the pain of that. That was ridiculous. I wasn't even
I,
playing. I saw my sister do it, and I was like, this is this is not good.
all I can say is that as someone who doesn't really care about Animal Crossing, that is still some fucked up shit I
Yeah,
ever
it's like
heard.
if you just want to do your dailies or like find your stuff, and then it's like, nope, you're gonna get some damn eggs instead. The worst part too, I forgot to mention, is that I think for like 10 days beginning in April, there was like I think it was like a cherry blossom or like a Sakura set of like stuff that you could find, uh, unrelated to that event, but it was like timed like only for a few days, like the first few days of spring, right?
Yep.
So those two things were clashing with each other. If people wanted to find like those some of those like cherry blossom sets, uh they'd have to struggle with the drop rates from the egg day event coinciding with that. So the stuff that they really wanted to get, they couldn't get. Because it's like you're at the mercy of stuff. There's like drop bottles you could find or like some balloons with like a gift in them that you might find what you need. Um, but that's just yeah, that was handled very poorly. A lot of people like imagine, dude, imagine this for someone that just bought the game during that Egg Day event, and they can't even get the materials they need to get started for a while. It's taking longer than they need to get up off the ground and like build their house and like their tools and shit because all they're getting is these damn eggs. Like, oh my lord, it's a yikes. It's a real yikes. Um, but aside from that, the game is fun. The evil has been defeated. It's actually a fun game now. But after that, the only other thing I played for the month was obviously the big one, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was looking forward to that game. Long story short, because I've talked about it on my Twitch finale stream, and I guess I'll link it here as well. About 2 or 3 days ago, I actually recorded I guess a podcast or more so like a review discussion that Zigoten did on his channel. Recorded myself and Shin. We talked about it with him. Tons of speculation, thoughts, impressions, you know. So I guess I'll link to that if anybody wants to know my opinions on the game like in full. But long story short, it's great. I can definitely see where it's gonna be divisive for some fans, but I've never smiled so much playing a game than I have playing that remake. It's so charming. They really understood the characters, and they've just a lot of things like they've swerved a little bit here and there, but the game like where it counts and where they had to do callbacks and just bring stuff back from the original game. Oh my god, it is so fun. I could not stop enjoying the game. The soundtrack is incredible too. I can't believe how consistently good that soundtrack is. Like they killed it. It's not a perfect game. I'd say critically it'd be like a 9 out of 10, but for me personally, it's a 10 out of 10 just because of how much fun I was having. I literally could not stop being immersed and charmed with the way that they handled Midgar in that setting. It was great, but that's all I'm going to say because otherwise I'd be repeating myself 3 times. It's good shit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't really had the time to do anything else because I think I finished that on Sunday. So like I mentioned before, like I watched community episodes here and there with my sister. Been enjoying that a lot. But I think that's pretty much it. Just like you, I'm looking forward to Trials of Mana like coming out tomorrow. Hopefully, for you and me. I hope nothing cursed happens.
No,
But
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, if all goes well, I'll be streaming that tomorrow. That's why I wanted to do this today because I was kind of just waiting for like a few days, before the game comes out. So that's pretty much been it. Doom Eternal 7 Remake, both very fun games I'd recommend. But yeah, I'm after Trials of Mana, I'm not sure what I'm going to do actually. Now I think about it, like we could do a Streets of Rage like marathon. I mean I say marathon, but those are short games. Just to like do those. But aside from that, probably gonna go nuts on like freaking trails in general. Oh my lord. Because Cold Steel 4, I don't think it's going to be like on the news list because it's like way far back. But Cold Steel 4 got announced for this year. Everybody freaked the fuck out. So it's
No one
happening.
expected that. Like,
Nobody expected that.
dude, like, I think I had like a conversation with Vex the day before that happened. Is that I probably bet, like, I told her like, I bet it was going to be like East 9, like before Cold Steel 4, due to like
Yeah.
script size. But apparently Nisa's like, no, we're gonna kill Cold Steel 4.
We did not expect it, and it was April 1st. Like, we thought it was like a
On
bad like listing on their store at first, and then it's real trailer, everything. I was just like, oh my god.
and not to
Obviously,
mention
I didn't see the trailer, but I was like, holy crap.
dude, and they immediately like confirmed like both a Switch and a PC port on the same
which
day.
are happening later. If you want to play it this year, get it on PS4. But that's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Like, that's the thing for me. I was just like, oh my god, the stars are aligning. I got Trails from Zero. That was the only thing like stopping me from playing the rest of the series. Now Cold Steel 4 is coming out this year. If I can make it happen, I want to get to Cold Steel 4 on release with everybody, but we'll see. That's a tall order. But I would like to make that happen. Because I think Trials of Mana will be like the last major game. Well, and Xenoblade. How could I forget? So that's in May, so we'll see.
I was
I
gonna
want
say,
to try to make it happen.
Yeah, hopefully you finish like a 0 before Xenoblade comes out.
Maybe that might be tough.
Because
I'll have to see.
now I was gonna say I will give you shit if you like if you put out 0 once again for Xenoblade. Because I'm like, dude, with Xenoblade, it can wait a few days.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, my dude.
Are you sure? It's
Yes.
Xenoblade. My
we have
favorite
0.
JRPG series of all time.
Yes, but you're playing your new favorite JRPG series.
Oh no, I did mention that I switched between the time of day. They go back and forth. I like them for different reasons, so no, I'm kidding. We'll see. The thing is just that like when I finish Trials of Mana, assuming I'm not gonna do more than one playthrough, I'd imagine it might have to be one and done, sadly, for the moment, but I might like revisit it in the future. I might have like 2 weeks, maybe 3, because it is in May. So I predict I'll finish the game when like May starts. So hopefully if I can do like, several chapters in like 2 to 3 weeks, then we should be good. But if not, hopefully, we'll have to see. I make no promises, man.
You gotta,
but yeah, I'd like to.
all I gotta say is that you gotta finish the fight before you move on to Xenoblade.
Man, what is this, like Halo 2?
Fuck Halo, this is the Trail series, damn it.
God. Watch that be Halo 3 where they said that, I'm not sure. But, Lord. Yeah, no. I mean, I'd like to. But the thing is, not even finishing the fight. That'd be start half the fight, finish it with Azure later. So I still can't win.
Well, at least you're finishing at least part 1 of a duology.
Pretty much, yeah. No, but yeah, Xenoblade, as far as I know, might be like the only thing that, it won't halt it, but it's just like, as far as like releases in the year, that's the only one that I see in the future that I'd play, because, yeah, it's weird. I don't mind rambling so far, by the way. People are going to be like, all right, well, if they're rambling this much now, the news is probably going to be like really long. Not a lot of announcements. I tried looking at like the last 5 pages on like Gamatsu, and It's all pretty sparse, understandably so with the current conditions. So, uh, for anybody wondering, don't worry about this being like a 3 hour long podcast. I highly doubt it's gonna be 3 hours. There's no way it's even gonna reach that point. um, it might be 2 hours ish, somewhere in that time span. But yeah, I'll try not to take too long since we started a bit late. But yeah, aside from that, oh, we checked out. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm blanking out on his name. I feel so ashamed. We checked out the new Sam Show DLC character.
Oh yes, can't believe I forgot about that. So yeah, so both of us we were checking out Sugetsu in
Yeah,
in Sam Show.
yeah, and he's pretty fun. Definitely not for me. He's got like a projectile you can like move around the screen if you like hold the button down. He's got some like he's got some good moves, no doubt. But I already knew with like having a Kazuki like as the pretty much like the brother that I like. I'm like, all right, I'm good. But he's fun. Definitely don't like him as much as Mina, but I can see how like other people have fun with him for sure.
Yep, I mean all you gotta know is that he is a waterbender that shoots bubbles
Yep, he
and
looking
also makes water
fabulous.
donuts.
Yeah.
I still love how like I was listening to like a couple interviews that had like a Crispy on, right? And I had like a grin on my face whenever he mentions like the water donuts.
Just
Because
bite into him.
like dude, like I started like the water donuts like thing.
He's like, I have credit. I'll sue Crispy Kaiser later for that. It's like, oh man. But Lord, it'd be like that. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Looking forward to whenever they I'd imagine with Iroha, I'm actually looking forward to that trailer just because I'd imagine they might have to tease who the next character is gonna be as well. So we'll see. Because there's like one more character for that like season pass, so looking
Mm.
forward to it whenever they put it out. Obviously, literally whenever they can, because that's the thing people got to expect too is like over these next few months, I've said it before on stream, April's probably the last month where things are that are coming out this month are probably safe. Anything in May or any other month, I think there's going to be a lot of delays being announced. There's a ton already, like Last of Us 2 was like delayed indefinitely, among other games. But yeah, I would not expect anything to come out on time. Xenoblade would be nice because it is just like a more or less like a remaster. But if it's like a major game, oh boy, we'll see. Definitely like as well like with DLC releases, I expect it to be delayed as well. So it'll just be out when it's out.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, also, I was gonna mention is that speaking of Sam Show, is we also did check out Halmaru
yeah,
in Soul Calibur 6.
good lord, he's he's something. That man and his sauce.
Like
uh,
like all you gotta do is just hard slash for that juicy damage.
God, he's weird, but he's fun. Oh my god, he's got some stuff. It's crazy to see how like they implemented stuff from the Sam Show games.
Yeah, it's actually like really kind of interesting where I think like I mentioned on stream before when we were playing as him is that in Sam Show like 3 and 4 they implemented this thing called slash and bust, which they're pretty much like different movesets. and
Yeah,
and I did recognize that they actually combined his two different movesets like on the same character, which is why he's able to do like many crazy things.
man.
Like literally, like the man has like the rage meter and has rage explosion along with the lightning blade.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's got some shit where he can just like wail on you too. Good lord, it's insane. He's got like mix ups. He's got his projectiles. He's got the freaking sake bottle, like everything, like the DP, all the moves are there. Oh my
Even
god,
the
it's
blade
nuts.
catch too.
Yeah, the blade catch, you can disarm yourself and just try to catch that blade. Oh my god, like it's nuts. Namco every time when they do a guest character, they nail it. Oh my god, like it's just crazy to see like a Sam Show character in like a 3D like engine like fighting game. It's just like well done well because I know SNK tried to do that stuff,
Dude,
but
like
it's
four
nuts.
fucking times. Like freaking Samsha 64, Samsha 64 like Warriors Rage, Samsha Warriors Rage, and finally Samsho Sen.
Man, maybe at some point I'll check them out if I want some cursed content on the stream. Oh lord.
I mean, if we figured out how to like now play PS1 games, then sure, we'll Twitch ourselves with Samsha Warriors Rage, which is the Soul Calibur 5 of the series, like roster
Oh
was.
boy. Ugh, that's gonna suck if it's like Soul Calibur 5. But I
Yep.
guess I'll manage if I find somebody. Man. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's great in Soul Calibur 6. My
Yeah.
god, every time I play that game I just forget how much I love Soul Calibur 6. It's so fun to come back to every time. I need to stop being a
Yeah,
stranger.
dude, it's just so much fun. And also as of right now is that it's crazy to seeing frigging Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher, friggin'
Yeah.
Tubi from NieR Automata, and right now frigging Haomaru from Sap Show.
God. Not since Soul Calibur 2, because there have been like a weird mishmash of like guest characters like that.
You
And
with
even
like
then,
Link.
like
Holy crap.
I was gonna say, even then, like for PS2, you just had God, I forget. PS2 had Spawn, or was that Xbox?
Xbox was Spawn, PS2 was Heihachi, and then obviously GameCube was Link.
Yeah, because it's like those are weird, but like Heihachi makes like somewhat sense for PS2, like since already like owned by Soul Calibur, so it's like it's almost like a moot point. But
Yeah,
like Soul
I'm
Calibur 6, like they're so wildly different from wildly different games. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, and it's a very similar situation with like Soul Calibur 3, where the only technical guest character is like getting Cosmo's armor set from Xenosaga.
Yeah, but man, it's great.
I
Definitely,
mean,
if you're a fighting game fan, definitely buy Hamaru and check him out. He's really fun.
dude, you really gotta check him out, and just I just love how like Vex is that she just having a hard time just picturing Halmarum in freaking in the near stage.
Yeah.
Fighting
uh
Geralt with just one hell of a crossover right there.
it's so good. Um but yeah, aside from that, we'll just get into the last thing we did, which was actually when's the cutoff date for those surveys, by the way?
Tomorrow actually.
Okay, because I already submitted, but I wasn't sure if I was like late or anything.
No, you're so
Um
good.
okay. Because yeah, we both got into the Guilty Gear Strive closed beta. Man, we got some shit to say. I'll, uh, I'll just say right now, it's a weirdly mixed bag of impressions, at least for me. Um, but yeah, we both played. I forget. So, did you only play for one session? Because I only played for like the afternoon. I think like session 2 for online. There was a brief period where people could play offline as well before those three
Yeah,
times, but I only played the second one with Soul for a bit.
yeah. For me, it was like the CPU only session before the first like day started,
Yeah.
and only day 2 with you.
Okay. Because yeah, I don't know. Should I start, or should I let you take a first swing at this?
I'd say you go first.
Okay. Well, before I get into my thoughts, I need to make a quick stop to a McDonald's, man. Do you want anything? Because when I saw that menu, oh my god, it looked like some fast food, like Mario Kart 8, like Nintendo Switch looking ass menu. Oh my god, I've never been more like optimistic to check out the game and then immediately be confused within minutes. Like I've oh, sorry if there's any background noise. Um, but yeah, I've never been more confused looking at that game because the UI and menu has been complained about for like a while now. If you've been following Guilty Gear Strive, but if you haven't, it's very devoid of personality for what the Guilty Gear series is. and it's weirdly minimal, but not really having any charm to it. Uh, there might be like a logo or an icon somewhere that looks like, oh, that looks like Guilty Gear. But yeah, menu's rough. But then I go online, and oh my goodness, those lobbies, dude, those damn lobbies.
Mm-hmm.
It's it is the worst lobby I have ever seen. And I'm sure, like, maybe so, like, you've seen, like, implementation that's, like, worse. Maybe the matchmaking is awful or something. But compared to, like, the ratio of, like, effort and execution, this is by far the worst I've ever seen. Period. I can't think of anything else. I remember when we were playing, I said I'd rather have, like, static main menus or, like, card menus or, like, network matchmaking. Like, ready or not ready, and that's it. Compared to this, the art style is so jarring. Going for this almost like indie, like sprite based game. Like people were mentioning Habbo Hotel, which, oh my god, dude, my
Holy
sister mentioned
shit.
Habbo Hotel, and I was like, what is, like, I've never been so out of the loop because people kept mentioning Habbo Hotel, and it's like, dude, I didn't know about Habbo Hotel until this whole fiasco started. I've never heard of that game in my life, but apparently it was this game that everybody and their mom played years ago, and I'm like, I'm just sitting here like, what is Habbo Hotel? Why does everybody know about it?
Dude, like, I never
I've seen
felt.
images now, but oh my god, I felt so out of the loop because I never heard that game before.
Dude, I never, like, felt so old when someone mentioned Have a Hotel. And this is,
God.
and this is, like, before when I turned 26, dude. Holy fuck. Like, dude, I used to see, like, ads for Habbo Hotel, like, back in the day when I used to, like, play a shit ton of Flash games.
Man. Yeah, I must have missed them. Good
Dude.
lord.
And the reason why, like, people, like, brought that up is that freaking, like, Maximilian, dude, out of all people, like, had a job to work in Habbo Hotel.
That's the biggest twist all day. I was like, what?
Oh my god. And even, like, Max even mentioned is that, like, Habbo Hotel looks more presentable compared to this Latvia GG Strive.
Yeah. This is, oh, it's rough. I'll probably, like, put in a card for, like, my first session of playing through the game. Oh my goodness. It's bad. Like, guys, you cannot look at a shot of that game and say that's a Guilty Gear game. If you didn't see, like, the news header that you can't toggle off for some reason, you would not know it's a Guilty Gear game. It's really bad. But even worse than that, because the aesthetics just do not match. Like, we do a match and it feels like a completely different game. I'm not even exaggerating. A completely different looking game. Uh, the matchmaking is, like, that's when it works. The matchmaking is also terrible. I don't know, so if you want to explain why it's so trash, because I don't want to keep talking to you forever, man.
Okay,
Oof.
so just to put it simple is that you have two pixel buddies, right? And the game, wait, what I want us to do, right, is that we grab out, like, our Minecraft pickaxe and try to, like, face each other with our Minecraft pickaxe.
God.
And thing is that it sounds very simple enough, right? But the game is like, no, you have to be at a certain distance,
Gotta
and
breathe on each other, get real close.
yep. And we're hoping, like, hoping the game that says currently initializing the match, and hope you see, like, a wanted poster, like, popping up of your characters before you start the match.
And if it doesn't, sometimes you might need to restart the application completely, because the matchmaking will just die if it fails a certain way.
Yep.
Oh my lord.
And the other thing also I'll mention is that, like, even though, like, after the match ends, right, there's no rematch button, so which means is that either I get kicked out of the lobby and have to re-enter in, or I'm just there, just waiting for the animation to finish of my pixel buddy, just
Yep,
done
because
being dead.
everybody is desynced in that lobby, by the way. The thing that makes it so hard to ready up to is that what you're seeing on your end or on your screen and your end will be completely different to what Soul's seeing. So, like, we'll both say, like, oh, meet up in the balcony, and I'm already here, but he doesn't even see me. So like, you just kind of gotta wait it out and hope to God nobody else shows up to snipe that. Because if you ready up and it might be synced for another player, but not Soul, for example, they'll try to get in on it when that's not what I'm trying to do. So it's so messy. The matchmaking is so vague and ambiguous for like the proximity that it wants you to be in, to the point where ArcSys made an official statement from like the first session or after the first session saying that, hey, listen, you need to do social distancing in this game too, not just in real life. Because if y'all keep piling up on each other, you're not going to get a match. It's going to have a lot of problems. Please bear with us. Please go on a different floor, different section. Huddle up together. Don't let anyone else touch you. You know, just make sure that doesn't spread. you know?
And what
So I'm
sucks is
like,
that
wow, dude.
like we followed like those extract instructions, and it barely worked until the last hour. Like,
Dude, I remember I freaked the fuck out when it was like, I said like, oh yeah, we're probably gonna do like half an hour more, and an hour passed, and I felt like we no shit did like 6 or 7 matches in that hour. Like it was just like bad. Like at most maybe like 10 if I'm being generous. But in the time it takes to finish those matches, and then I'm just struggling with that lobby, that hour was such a blur. It just went by, but for all the wrong reasons. I was like, oh my god, the struggle's been this long? Fuck. It's not good. That lobby system has to go completely. Um
yes, like
Bring back
anyone.
the arcade cabinets, menus, anything that lets me know that we're synced up and queuing up, as opposed to this vague stuff where it's just tons of stuff in the background that I have no idea if it's working or not. I hate it.
Dude, like I would even accept the like the exit sign lobbies, which they're functionable despite like they're just a bit simple.
Yeah. Man, it's yeah, the lobby's easily the worst part about the game now. Delay based netcode for the beta was like one thing, but we're getting rollback, so that shit's gonna be really good, hopefully. But those lobbies are a sore point. They need to fix them, get rid of them, something. Oh my god, just go back to anything else. Literally anything else. I'd rather have menus. I'm not even kidding. It's boring, but it works. That's the most important part, is it fucking works. Um but yeah, once we got into the games, it's actually pretty fun. It's I wouldn't say it feels completely like previous Guilty Gear games, but it has the, I don't know, it has like the essence, right? Like you could still feel it in some cases when you're playing the game and trying to do combos and stuff. It's not as intuitive, I feel, as when I first played Revelator as my first Guilty Gear game, but it's still pretty fun for what it is. I don't know if you
Hmm.
had anything.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, like I would say like pretty much I got the same feeling as where I had to keep myself in mind is that this is like a different game compared like to other games in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that like everything for your experience, or do you want to mention my end?
Oh, well, I mean, I could finish up mine, but I figured I should let you go because I don't want to keep talking forever.
Okay, so yeah, definitely I can tell for gameplay is. I mean, I did had a fun time like when it fucking worked. Ooh, I know like so far like there's definitely like a lot of stuff that needs to be tweaked. Like
Yeah.
obviously one thing is that air dash needs better momentum because it feels like the air dash from like Multi Blood except a little worser.
Yeah, the speed and the weight is just off for that. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and definitely like there's also the lack of air teching, which means with this like lingo for air recovery,
Yep.
which is something like I was trying to look for because I was used to doing that like in the previous like Guilty Gears and especially with Exert as well. And definitely I can tell like they will adjust like some of the damage ratio because that damage ratio is like, whew, it's mighty high.
It's a bit, it's so weird. It's high and then at some points not high. Like it's inconsistent. Command throws are absurd. Like we didn't play Potemkin, but I have seen some clips on Twitter that make me fear for my life.
Hell, even like with Soul, right? Like when I landed like his wild throw command grab, that
It's like
still did like
25 or 30%
yes, it still did like tons of damage, dude.
from a single command throw, people, not even a combo. That's just one fucking move. Blocked 1 second too much, it's all gone. Like, it is some Sam Show tier stuff in a game that's faster and has actual combos. Like, they need to tone that shit down. They really do.
Yeah, like
It's nuts.
yeah, as someone like who has fun with the damage ratio, but at the same time, they definitely gotta like tone that down for like for the people they're aiming for the newcomers that are like planning to play
Yeah.
this.
Because that's the thing. It's like, when are they gonna ever learn combos when the matches end in like 20 seconds? Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
It's so crazy. Like, um, the other thing I will mention is definitely like Gatling, which is a unique combo system for this game, where it's definitely different compared to Xrd.
Man,
Um,
I'm definitely not a fan.
yeah, because I will say is that like during my time with the CPU versus, I'm like this is fine, but then once we get into actual matches, I'm like what, I'm having like different thoughts about it.
Yeah, it's you know what? There's a really good video that Corey Gaming put out recently. I don't know if you saw it, where it's basically like discussing the pretty
Oh,
much how your brain functions when you're trying to like play fast or slow.
like System 1 to the System 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and there are like these things that are easy to do in your mind because it's like automatic, it's second nature, you don't have to worry about it. But using System 2 and like the part of your brain where you have to like, pretty much force yourself to think and like be cautious about things makes it harder for you to do anything because it's more taxing. Like mentally draining, it doesn't feel great. But that's what makes Gatling so good in the original game is that you immediately know going from light to heavies is always a good idea. You can freeform that stuff. Gatlings were very free. Like I've always said when I started playing Guilty Gear Revelator, the buttons were fast and loose. You could just do whatever you want. Like it's so good and so free for you to just experiment. But when you go to something like Strive, I feel like I had to constantly restrain myself and be like, all right, this is the only thing that works. Don't try to do anything else. It's not gonna work, right? And it's just like constantly stopping myself from what I thought I knew of Guilty Gear. And while restructuring can be a good thing, this is awful for new players when they sit there trying to simplify the games. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do by ruining Gatling combos. It is the worst idea that they need to put back in. Like, it just makes it harder to play. Straight up, it just makes the game harder to play.
Yeah, because that's the thing to say. Like, like if we're trying to like introduce this game for someone like Vax or Shin, right? They will have like a hard time like trying to like understand the combo system that is like
Yeah,
Gatling.
like, there are specific combo routes you can take, and you really aren't allowed to deviate much. Hell, even like Under Night has like the reverse beat system, right? But it still goes from like light to heavies, and you can like mix it up here and there. But like even that still works. Even that game still has Gatling. A lot of games have it. I remember when I played last year, Fatal Fury Special or Real Bout Special. That one immediately felt good. Like I played Terry and I played like Blue Mary, and it's like immediately feels good when I'm pressing buttons because it's just going in the way my mind wants it to go because it had Gatling combos more or less. It feels very satisfying, and it's always something that for me, at least when I play these fighting games, it like for sure it's a preference, but for me, it makes the game feel natural and satisfying as opposed to feeling rigid and strict. It's a good impression right off the bat if I know a game has Gatling combos. At least for me, I love that shit whenever a game has it. So to see the game that introduced me to what Gatling combos were and like how free form the move or the attacks really were in Revelator, it really is a disappointment to see them backpedal on that and do whatever they're doing right now. It's weird.
Yeah, so pretty much the sum up is that like Gatlings are really strict and not freeform anymore.
Yeah, it's like two slashes into heavy usually works, and maybe like end with like a special, but it's rough. And then
Yeah.
like the wall clinging is like very weird because I don't know, breaking the wall feels like satisfying to a point, but like it feels limited in what you can do because it's like you either drop the combo or don't.
Yeah, and I was gonna get to that as well. Is that like for the wall breaking? Is that very interesting mechanic? Obviously, like it gives the feeling where you go into like three stages into one big area when you're picking stages for the game.
Yeah.
The problem is that like the only benefits of doing a wall break is just meter refills for a limited time. But I
Yep.
think there has to be like more benefits to it they can add besides getting a meter refill.
And even then, dude, the reality is, why does meter matter when you could just do like one other combo or one other move
Yeah.
and it's over? What is the point of this meter that I can't even use? Oh my god, dude. Like it's so bad.
Yes, because I think during the session, right, is that I think we did some supers here and there, but I mostly stay meter for like Roman cancels.
Yeah.
And speaking
Oh my
of
god.
Roman cancels, anyone that doesn't play the series, uh, if you watch JoJo, and you know like Dio can stick when can stop time, that's Roman cancels in Guilty Gear.
Yeah. The Roman cancels are very fun. I do have one gripe. I didn't mess with it in the beta, but I did see other people mess with it. I did not know they have a defensive Roman cancel now. Um
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Is Roman cancels like they're obviously easy to activate, right? But the problem
yeah.
is that like there is different types of Roman cancels you can tell in different colors. But the problem is that I couldn't find like in the game's like manual. I mean, like in the beta test manual or anything to explain what are the conditions to get this certain type of a Roman cancel.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's definitely like another critique I also put like in the survey is that you guys need to explain about the different Roman cancels.
Yeah,
Well,
I hope to God like they have good tutorials. I think I'm a little more confident in that considering Grand Blue, and I have to say I'm glad they kept the command list, really informative.
oh my
Every
god.
Arxis game needs to have that because yeah, they basically use the same command list that they have for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and it's the best by far. Like it's the best the command list menu could be, where it shows you the move. There's a video preview on the right, similar to like the Devil May Cry series, which I loved for years doing that shit to let me know before I buy a move or mess with one of them if it's worth my time or not. And yeah, it shows you the move, so that way you never are misinformed. Even like the ones that have like a variation on like, a stronger or light variant, it'll show you. It'll show you follow-ups as well. Follow-ups also have their own video preview. And it tells you exactly what the move is good for. It's incredible. I love that shit. It makes learning like the moves so much easier and so much more intuitive than just seeing like the input and seeing like a few icons to represent what it can do. If you can do it in the air now, I'm like, man, that barely tells me anything. I just gotta see
Yeah,
it with my own eyes to get an idea.
yeah, like I can definitely like when like can say that is like one of the best command menus I mean the best command list menus I've ever seen for a fighting game.
Yeah. The other thing I do, which is that the defensive Roman cancel is weird because it essentially resets to neutral, but in a very weird way where I don't prefer it nearly as much as like dead angles. Because for those that don't know, dead angles are basically kind of like the reversal move you could have in the. I don't know if it was in Exard, but I know it was in Revelator. Um, and I always like that. It was kind of like the way to like get the opponent like off you if you used it.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it from what I've seen in
mhm.
clips, but I'm like, I don't think they're gonna change it to that. That'd be too much work.
Yeah, and I think like that was in Rev. I don't believe it was in Sign, but I think someone can point that out.
Yeah,
But I will say is that the other complaint I also do have is the weird changes to dust, which what
yeah,
dust
this is
is.
weird.
So what dust is like think of it as like your launcher of which is how That's basically a dedicated button to launch your opponent in the air and just do like a follow up into crazy like air combos and stuff. So what they changed it is that like doing like a raw dust is only just for damage,
Yep.
and the only way where you can only like launch your opponent into the air and follow with an air combo is you can only do it on a counter hit.
Yeah. It's
And
uh it's
um,
weird.
I think like I managed to did it once during the session, but I think like I got the launcher right, but I didn't get like enough time to like follow it up. But holy
I think
crap!
so, maybe. Yeah.
Like that was another weird change that was that I hope like they also fix like in the later builds of this game.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, we have to stress it was still fun to play in general. It's just that it wasn't completely like Guilty Gear. It has like a little bit, like it has shades of Guilty Gear here and there. You can tell it didn't completely divorce itself from what it was, but it's so many changes that I don't agree with. I'm just like, it's so close to being fun, but it feels like it's fighting me sometimes, and I just want to like do something that I'm used to.
Uh huh.
Um, so it's weird, It's like one of those get with the times, old man sort of deals. But it's like, listen, what was there works. It was great. It was great for so many years. So seeing it change so much is just it's a little jarring. It's gonna take a while to get used to it. I'll tolerate it because it has rollback. I want to support a game that finally has rollback from Arc System Works.
Yeah,
But
this
that
game,
lobby's got to go, and the game flow is fun. But I'm
and
not
also
sure how
GG's
long
interruptions
it'll
by the way.
last. Oh, you got to go.
Hold on, I gotta check my door.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, let me just do that. Well, GG interruptions. Anyways, as you were saying.
Yeah. Also welcome back. But yeah, it's just a matter of like lobby system's rough. Gameplay flow is like rough. It really is a matter of just like rollback will make it enjoyable, but I'm not sure how long I'll keep playing the game. Strictly on like a mechanical standpoint. It's kind of like this feeling I had when Granblue was out, where it's just like I'm not sure it'll have enough there to like, keep me playing. And Granblue is still pretty fun. I just wish I had rollback, right? But like the lobbies, charming. It has like more. It has less for me to worry about than Strive does at the moment. And granted, there is a survey that hopefully people signed or filled out appropriately. Hopefully we can get there in time and like fix a lot of the issues. But oh, it's tough. Like this beta, I feel like they almost shouldn't have done it. You know, like it's good to get my hands on it, but at the same time, it's left me with so many bad impressions through that it's like I'm not sure it did what they wanted it to do. But I guess if they get the feedback right, then maybe it did. You know.
Yeah, I will say is that like I will say is that definitely I feel like they should have never done a beta like this, but at the same time I'm kind of glad they did this right now, just
Yeah, because part of
so
me is like, if they did a beta later and it still had that fucking lobby, I'm like, oh my god, we would have been too late. You know?
dude. I'm just glad like they're doing this now, before we would experience that again in the final product.
Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot to mention too. I mentioned that to like Soul and DMs. I showed my sister just like the main menu and like the lobby afterwards. And she hated it just as much. She doesn't even play the series, but she knows that is so much clashing art in one game. It's absurdly confused of what it wants to be. Like she genuinely thought when she saw like Sage Am's like highlight clips or the highlight video that he had for playing the beta, she thought that it was his overlay for streaming. When she saw the main menu, I'm like, I can't make this shit up. And I'm like, yeah, because it's like, wow, it looks nothing like the game. It should be an overlay, right? It's like, no, that's in the game. Oh
Dude,
my god.
like even like Vex, who like dropped in during the stream, like told us that she wouldn't even know if it was Guilty Gear if Soul wasn't on the right side, on that news
Yeah.
section.
Like shit is rough.
Ugh. Like let's hope again they take all this feedback. And I will say is this is probably like one of the first times where I'm glad this feels like an actual beta instead of like
That's
being
true, yeah. Because
instead
every
of
time we do a beta, it's like it never feels like it.
Yeah, it feels like more of like a an advanced demo, like way
Yeah, or
from
like a glorified network stress test or something, right?
yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. I hope they fix it in time. Even like the match UI and stuff, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's like honestly there's bigger fish to fry. Just fix that lobby. I don't care. You could keep some of the stuff that I don't like. Hell, you could even keep that main menu for all I care. I need you to terminate that lobby. Like completely destroy it. I don't want to see it ever again. Straight up.
Dude,
I'll tolerate so many things, but that lobby I cannot tolerate, dude.
and like hell, like I'll be super happy that if they delay just to like fix the lobby.
Like literally, like we're so close to getting like the rollback. But the thing is, the rollback might not matter nearly as much if the matchmaking still fucking sucks. Like it's just gonna have to be everybody in their private like lobbies, and that's it. And even then, that might still not work out great if you have like 3 or 4 people. Have your private 1 to 2 people if you want to make it work. But it's like rollback's one thing, but this shit, oh my god, doesn't give me hope. Does not give me confidence.
Same here. Like at the moment, it feels like a monkey spot after like hitting rollback.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? It's like every other game had that arcade lobby system to some extent. And now the one that we finally gotta like get rollback, you do this shit? Like, come on, dude. You could have done it with any other game, but this is the one you had to do it on. Oh god.
Fuck, and this is like coming from someone where I'm not a huge fan. Like I don't like the lobbies for Smash
Yeah.
Ultimate and Arms, and
Yeah.
somehow they made it worse than those two.
Even those are better than this.
Yes, like
Even
somehow,
those are so much better than this.
somehow they managed to make it worse than those two lobbies I mentioned.
I cannot stress you guys. Like whenever a match like wanted to happen, it's like, well, I guess I'm just praying for it to happen.
Or
Hope I
hell,
get lucky.
you know what? Is that during like the early days of fighting EX Layer, like um actually no, it didn't have any lobbies, but actually no, it did have like its own proper implementation of lobbies. But when you're trying to make like a private like matchmaking room, right? It was basic, but it still worked better than what we had to deal with in GG Strive.
Oh yeah. Like, oh my god, dude. It's yeah. And I can't stress though, it's not the worst game I've ever played. It did have some fun moments, if people ever like, want to watch the past podcast or whatever. We did still have fun, but it's it's still a far cry from what we want it to be. It's still got a ways to go. So hopefully, they can fix it. Hopefully we see more of the roster and whatnot in the future. Because I genuinely want to be excited for this game. It's just that I can't I can't do false hype, right? If it's a problem, I gotta call that shit out. Because Guilty Gear deserves better, damn it. Like it's doing so many things right, or it used to. And to see anything not be like nailing it, it sucks to see, right? Like of all the series, like this is the one that I want to see them do right. So it's just how it is. Tough love, as they say. But yeah, I guess aside from that, unless you had anything else to say on that, Soul.
I would say the positives that is command list, graphics, which is a no
Music is still
brainer.
good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The soundtrack is still like it's gonna be lit though. Like even though like if we don't end up like liking the game in the future, that soundtrack is still gonna be lit.
yeah, Lord. Um. So yeah, this those are pretty much our impressions. More negative than I was expecting, but it'd be like that.
Yeah,
Um.
like I said before, is I'm glad that they're doing this now, and hopefully we'll see like more changes later down the line.
Yep. Pretty much. But I was gonna ask before we get into the news because I guess I can't think of anything else that happened for us. Did you have to take a break or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Then yeah, we can just get right into the news because we're already at like the 1:30 mark, so I don't want to make it go on too long. But like I said, these news segments are very brief. I only picked out a few from like the last five, so or the last 5 pages of Gamatsu. So we'll just talk about them briefly. Because I feel like a lot of people mainly like watch for like the rambles. News is like there, just because I want like reactions to stuff that's happening currently anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, we'll get into it. Also, screen share still working for you? Just
Yep,
making sure
it's
on
still
Discord.
working.
Okay. So yeah, we got a few. This is like what? Yeah, it's like 9 tabs, but it shouldn't take too long. It's just some weird, random, cool stuff. Because I'm just like, what is going on, man? So this came out of nowhere. Uh, Chex Quest HD launches this summer and is free to play. And you can wishlist it on Steam right now. But dude, like, just oh my god! And this is not April Fools. This happened way after April Fools. Oh my god! So they're just totally remaking this. This is wild. You ever play the original one, man? I didn't, but
I
I
did
know thanks to
actually.
AVGN's video. You did?
Yes, I did, and I remember like it was really awesome. Like best I can describe about Chex Quest is imagine like they took the Doom engine and just put and skinned it over with the Chex cereal and release it as a pack in game for kids when they like buy their cereals.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like literally it's just Doom made for kids. Like you can tell that like the enemies they're called like the Soggies. They're like soggy cereal. And then the
Yeah.
weapons are just like laser blasters. Like
God.
anything you can tell that's like the handgun, the chainsaw, or the BFG. Like it's just like fancy laser guns.
Yeah, it's like the most elaborate censored Doom ever. God.
And the funniest part is I remember I was watching a Chex Quest speed run, and this dude pointed out is that if you actually like turn off the textures for Chex Quest, you can still see Doom.
Oh my god. It's literally just an overlay.
Yes, the fanciest overlay ever. And if you ever want to check out like the original before the new one comes out, you can find like a mini play. I believe on the Chex website, it's free, and I do recommend playing like via GC Doom for better compatibility issues and controls as well.
Yeah, GZ Doom is pretty great from what I played all last year. Oh man. And I guess if you want like a brief highlight reel of the stuff that's in that game, AVGN did a video recently or a couple months back. It's really funny too. I'd recommend that. But oh man, I was not expecting this. That's just wild.
Really wild.
Speaking of not expecting, oh boy, this is it's a weird one. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for PS4 and Switch is launching on May 12th. 1999 remastered classic with modernized controls. Man, sorry, I'm just giggling a little bit, guys, for context, because the image here is killing me. Like, I'll probably put it in the thumbnail that I use for the podcast so you guys can see it too. Oh my god, this is an HD remaster. All right.
Dude, all I see is just a like a way of what PS1 games usually look like without getting upskilled.
Yeah, it's like, man, the PS1 sprites and like the ground is just a mess of pixels.
And the texture
Man,
warping
that
too.
sure is HD. It's wow, that's insane. Uh man, apparently only charging $15, but wow, this is like not even like the UI like font is still like very much like stretched and just not meant for this resolution. It does not look good. Oh lord. Like that is not upscaled or redone whatsoever. It's a poor man's HD port. I know this is one of the Star Wars games that a lot of people actually like though, so it might still be good. If you don't mind, like, the graphics being upscaled nearly as much as you'd expect. This is very minimal from what I'm seeing. But yeah, it's just it's weird. Apparently they're making sure that it plays well and everything, but hopefully it's fine. It's just, man, I'm not used to seeing these like ports being so minimal like this.
Yeah, same here. Like especially for like 3D games.
Yeah, it's so weird to see. Um but yeah, I'm probably not gonna buy it. I just found it so weird because this is like such a weird exception to like the remasters that are coming out lately. Just to see it be like this, I'm like, wow. Is that a remaster or is that just me playing that on my PC upscaled a little bit? Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it definitely feels like in the same veins as the Grandia HD remasters.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, hopefully it turns out relatively okay for at least for the fans. But yeah, this is somewhat new, somewhat not. I feel like we talked about her before, but yeah, they basically launched a new trailer for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus for the last character for the first season pass for Zoe. And she seems pretty cool, but man, it's one of those things where it's a lot of setup, or at least I saw some setup of like the dragons and whatnot. I'm like, it might be a bit too much busy work for me. But she does seem fun. Probably still give her a try. I don't know if you saw the trailer, Soul.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Like, she seems very interesting. Like, I'm not sure if they're dragging, if her like dragon like pet acts like a puppet type of character,
Yeah.
but who knows? Oh, you know what? I just realized with that we also played like a couple of the DLCs that came out for Grand Blue during the
Oh my
month.
god, yeah, that's true. I guess we can talk about it here. Yeah, I guess for me, I only played Jita. She's basically the female avatar version of Grand that you could pick and choose from the mobile game. She's very fun. Her damage is surprisingly high. The bias is really kicked in. But she's very fun. I definitely like to play her. She's on the list whenever I go back to this game. I'll probably play her again along with Catalina and whatnot. But she's fun. She's like a Ken, to Ryu. Like slightly modified moves, but it's nothing insanely crazy compared to like, Grand. It doesn't deviate a ton. But still fun.
And she also
But
got that
Soul
deadly
played
rave.
Sora's.
Oh,
That too, yeah. Deadly Rift takes a minute to get used to, but it is still satisfying to pull off.
yeah, and the Saurus. He is a very interesting character. Definitely like rush down melee type of character because he uses his fist rather than like weapons.
Yeah.
And he has like a very fun, unique action where he can just buff his muscles to take a damage, and obviously like he has like a install where he just strips everything except for his Fundoshi underwear, and he just becomes faster and stronger and just more crazier, and you can end it with a more stronger super.
Yeah, God, just kind of nuts because I was like, oh God, when's my turn? He can just keep going, keep pressuring. It's like, this is just freaking nuts. I gotta find a way around this. Lord. But yeah, he seems fun. It's just like his normals are a bit too stubby for my liking, for it being rushed down. Um, but, that's just me. He does seem fun, though. Just not completely sold. But from what I've seen, yeah, in combos and stuff, he seems pretty cool, though. I like him.
Yeah,
But,
he just needs
yeah.
like some hitboxes like here and there to be adjusted.
Yeah. But yeah, she seems fun. I want to check out Zoe when she comes out. Just hope that it's not too complicated because, like you said, if it's like puppet character stuff where you got to worry about where the dragons are on screen, man, that's hard for me. I'm a very simple man when it comes to fighting games, right? Just give me good buttons to press, let me apply pressure, and only focus on the character that I'm controlling, and I'm good. Give me charge inputs, puppet characters, or like trap setups, and I'm not gonna do great. Like I'll try, but it's not as easy for me. It already takes a lot of my mental capacity to just like deal with like my own pressure, let alone worry about something else on screen.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like, I mean, that's like me where I barely played like Chaos in Elder Night.
Yeah,
So
but
what's next?
man, I wonder if Soul's got anything to say on this one.
Oh my!
Streets of Rage 4 launches April 30th. Battle mode announced. Oh my lord. So yeah, this trailer is pretty dope. Oh my god. It's either this one or the one previously. I forget which one was the one that just like opened the floodgates.
Oh, it was the
Cause
last one actually.
okay, because we could like still talk about it again. Actually no, it seems like they mention it here. But yeah, this is nuts. So dude, I'm gonna let you go first. Because there's a lot here.
All right, so as someone who's like a huge fan of the series, I'm liking of how Streets of Rage 4 is turning out in these recent trailers. So besides like we're getting like returning characters, a returning character and a new character, new characters, and obviously looking beautiful hand drawn sprites,
Yep.
um, along with a killer like composer list for the soundtrack. Like
God, it's so phenomenal.
literally got like the goat Yuzo Koshiro working with like Yoko Shimomura, along
Yeah,
with
I'm just
like
like, yes.
along with other composers. The only thing that's missing was what's his face? Hideki Naganuma. He was gonna work in this, but he couldn't due to like schedule conflicts.
Yeah.
But like so far, it's gonna be like a very fun game, especially like with the online co-op. However, what amazes me more is that uh in the DMs with Marcos, where he was like it was like, oh, he misses Max from Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah, I
Like,
think I feel like maybe I mentioned it on the last episode. But no, I think it was just on DMs. But yeah, you go ahead.
yeah, so he was like talking about like, man, they should have brought back Max. Man, I miss him. And then suddenly like on the next trailer that we saw, right? Well, they did the craziest thing ever is they pulled like a Smash Ultimate where they say everyone is here. Like
God.
literally they brought in like the previous characters in the original like Genesis sprites along with like Axel and Blaze in their other like iterations as well from
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 1 to 2. Wait, 1 to 3.
Good lord.
Like if you ever like miss a character like Skate or Max, they're still there, like as unlockables. And what's more amazing is that you can even play the original soundtracks right from the Genesis games.
Yep. Which, if you know anything about the series, like for most games, original soundtrack is usually good for like purists, but like those soundtracks are some of the best that the Genesis ever had. Like, period. It's oh my god. That's like one of the best features they could add is playing some of the original tracks, because that stuff is like, for me at least, it's like the pinnacle of the Genesis like sound font and what it can really do. Yuzo Koshiro just made that thing sing, like literally. It's insane. It's some of the best soundtrack that system ever had.
Yeah, like that soundtrack like really like put its name on the map.
Man. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm really looking forward to this. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be late to the party, like I mentioned to Soul and DMs, because of
mm-hmm.
Trials of Mana. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it in 5 days. Even if I was, I don't want to rush into Street Rage 4. Because the plan was, I just wasn't sure when, because it was kind of abrupt when they announced the release date. Um, but the plan was to like play through the rest of the series so I could like properly respect all the references and whatnot. Because I'd imagine there's gonna be some for sure. Um, so yeah, probably after Trials of Mana, I'll like play 1 through 3. Maybe online somehow we'll find a way, and yeah, then get to 4 at some point. But it's really dope. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely tell it's a love letter for sure.
Yep,
Although,
I'm pretty
did you
excited.
have anything else to add to it?
Oh, I will say like I'm just pretty excited for it, and again, props to them for like adding online co-op because that was like one of the major
Yeah,
things I was scared of.
God, pretty much, yeah. Because it's hopefully it's good. That's all I can hope for now. Hopefully it's good. Um, but yeah, we'll just see. Otherwise, though, the game's looking great. But
Here we
man,
go.
this is a weird one. I would have put in the other article, but it was like a while ago, so I'll just lump them together. Uh, so NieR is a thing. I don't know if I've mentioned it enough on the podcast actually, but I'm a huge Yoko Taro fan. Ever since playing those games back in like 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, I started getting into it and playing all of them before Automata came out. And I've been a massive fan ever since. I adore Yoko Taro's works. They're all so great and subversive and just really pushing past the boundaries of what games are supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. You know, like it's very ambitious. Every time I play those games, their storytelling is so well done. But I immediately got excited. Not for this one, but the fact that NieR Replicant and not Gestalt. Gestalt was the one that came out in the West originally in 2010 with Papa NieR, as people call him. But yeah, Replicant was the Japanese version that had the younger brother to
AKA
Yona,
Brother
which
Near.
is yeah, pretty much. So he's like younger. It's a weird change that they did for the West, but it was still my NieR, damn it. So I'm kind of sad to see him go.
I know.
But but it's neither here nor there. I'm excited for that. I cannot wait. Hopefully the port's good. My only concern is that it's not being done by Platinum and not being done by like any prominent. What was her name? Was it like Toy Factory or something? I forget the name. Sorry, of the studio
I think it was Toy Factory.
handling.
Yeah, I think it was like either Pendulum or Toy Factory.
Might be
And
both. Not sure.
yeah, and another thing that also so wondering about is like what they teased of saying this is neither a remake nor a remaster.
Yeah. Are you talking about like this in the article, or are you talking about like what the?
No, for like for NieR Replicant.
Hmm. I don't know, because like I'm trying to think. Huh. Because it's so weird to think about. It. Like, if it's not a remake or a remaster, I still couldn't quite figure it out myself when I thought about it before. It's like, what would it be, right? If not those two,
I
because it's
just
like it'd have to be tweaking something. If it's at least doing like HD treatment or like touching it up, it'd be a remaster. But if it's doing more than that, it'd be a remake.
all I
Maybe a
know.
reimagining, I guess,
Yeah,
because everything's got to be a re now.
I was gonna say like maybe like Yukatori is like inventing a new genre, and
Maybe.
I will have a huge smile if he says like I just invented a new genre that's not a remix or a remaster.
Oh man, I wish I could do that stupid joke where like I think it was Randy Pitchford or somebody like calling Battleborn like a like I can't even paraphrase it because it's so damn long. But somebody did like I think it was Battleborn or a game that just flopped, and it was called like no, I can't think of it. But it's like five descriptive words that make no damn sense trying to sell your game. It's like, oh, okay, you're just making up your own genres now. That's cool. I wish I could find the joke, but good lord, it's pretty bad. But it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, one of those things. Where it's like, yeah, I guess you're gonna call it your own thing now, but I don't think you would. But who knows?
I mean, with Yokotaro, like anything can happen.
Pretty
I
much.
mean, I think he may. I think like he would just take like inspiration from like from the creator of Shenmue, where he even invented his own genre as well.
Yeah.
Eyes.
Oh man. The more I think about it, the more I laugh. But yeah, it'd be like that. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I will say it'll fail on the first hurdle if board drifting is not back and it does not feel the same way. I better get that black board early in the game. People know, but that's like the first test. Hopefully the combat's still pretty good. I think despite the studios working on it, they did say that some of the platinum staff is helping on it a little bit. So that does give me some confidence, but we'll see. This I'm not, as much as I love this series, I'm not keeping my expectations like through the roof for this one because it seems like it's a low key thing for the 10th anniversary. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Hopefully it
and
turns out good.
here's hoping like well, I'm wondering what's gonna happen to fishing as well because I know fishing was definitely like a big thing for the original NieR. That
Yeah. Oh,
and
those side quests too. It was nuts.
yeah, that and I will mention like a funny story is that I believe it was like a week before or the weekend before they announced the like we're getting like NieR again, right? I was
Yeah.
talking to her like to her arch friend like Raichana,
Yeah.
and I told her is that what the situation is going on right now. The world is turning into NieR, and then
Pretty much.
suddenly, like NieR comes back.
Dude, the same day that apparently it was announced, it was apparently snowing in Japan, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This is so creepy. Like, it works. It's so
Dude,
real. Because, listen, I don't want to spoil anything, but for those who know, I'm like, that's significant in the first hour of the game. Oh my god.
dude, like I never felt like fucked up. Like after like that discussion I had with her, like when the announcement came on.
God, dude, I was sleeping through it because I didn't know. I think I was busy streaming something else, so I just went to sleep. And the next day, I was like, "Oh my god, everybody's freaking out,"
Yeah, no,
and
no,
I'm late to the hype. But I was like, "Oh my god,
no. I was gonna say like when the announcement came on, you were still sleeping, dude.
yeah."
It was around
I
the
was like,
hour
"Damn it,
where you were still sleeping. I was just spamming you just a bunch of shit.
yeah." And it wasn't even you who I saw first. My sister, like when I woke up randomly in the middle of the night, that was like the first thing I saw. She texted. I was like, "Oh my god, everybody saw this but me. I'm so tight." But I don't care. We all win. God, I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. Um, But yeah, aside from that, which is like the major announcement I'm hyped for, they also announced a mobile game, which is I guess taking place in the same universe, but we don't know tons of details yet. They did show a gameplay trailer, which seemed pretty straightforward. It was mainly just like a traversal, with someone that kind of looks like they could be related to Kaine in some way. Um, with this like a ghost spirit companion traveling around with them. So who knows what that's about? If it's a mobile game, I'm not sure if it's like gotcha elements or if it's just like a one-time purchase thing. Um, but I mean, if it's like a small like contained story, I'd be down to mess with it a little bit. But I'm definitely more excited for the replicant HD something, whatever it is, because I guess I'll call it reimagining or something, because if it's not a remake or a remaster, I don't know what to call it. But I'm excited for NieR Replicant, basically, coming out soon. But yeah, the mobile trailer looks pretty alright too. The music was really good. Because of course it's Okabe. I love that man. I love that composer so much. So if nothing else, the mobile game will have a glorious original OST, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, they just had a slight teaser because I think this was when they were streaming the 10th anniversary. Or I think it was like a day after their 10th anniversary, or the day of. But yeah, they were just showing off a little bit more. But not tons of new information that happened there. Just a bit of footage. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's a good time to be a Yoko Taro fan.
Mm,
Finally, some food after
ye-
Automata in 2017.
dude, literally like Automata just like put the series like on the map, like for realsies.
Yeah, I'm like, thank God.
Yep, and
He needs a win.
I can't wait to hear about like even though like if the mobile game doesn't turn out to be pretty not great at all we got though, besides the soundtrack, is the lore. Because you're
Yeah.
gonna know like they're gonna put in a lot of lore, just like how Yoko Tori like added like lore into the FF14 NieR raid.
Oh yeah, like I say self-contained, but I mean just like it's gonna be like its own little like story to be told. But I'd imagine there might be like references or things that connect it in some way. But yeah, for sure the lore. It's just gonna be another thing to add to the lore, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just this fucking thing that I'm just looking at, like just connecting all the dots, you know. Oh my lord.
Like this kind for someone like who put lore in a stage play.
Yeah, dude's nuts. Yoko Taro put lore in anything. There was an audio drama where lore was there. Like everything he does will probably have lore. Oh boy. So yeah, get ready. If you think this is gonna be something you could ignore, listen. You don't have to play it. You might need to look up a summary or something, though. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yo, just wait until like Clemps just makes like a lore summary video for the mobile game.
I'm like, please, Lord. But yeah, either way, good shit. Was like probably the most excited I got like all year was just like these announcements. I'm like, thank God. I've been waiting for so long. It's only been like 2 years, but it feels like an eternity waiting for like probably one of my favorite like studios period or like just one of my favorite directors or I don't know like what do you call I don't know I feel like author would be like pretentious, it's like man like Kojima's like an auteur, or like how some people call that stuff. But like when he's a man with a face, a weird moon face, and I love this man and whatever he works on I'm on board. That's all I got, right? Big fan. So looking forward to that. But yeah, this is a little low key, but I know some other people on the timeline were like we're curious or like looking forward to it because I mentioned it before. TLDR, I guess it's so weird because I think I saw on Twitter too. I'm surprised that they kept the button mappings, but for context, I guess the latest Hatsune Miku game is coming to Switch like exclusively, which is weird. I guess they're done with PS4 potentially, although PS4 is kind of on its way out, so I guess it makes sense. Plus, honestly, I think rhythm games work better on the Switch, but that's just me. Like, it makes more sense to have them all there. Um, but yeah, I guess it's coming May 15 in the West. Seems like it's a compilation of like all the other tracks that the series has had, which is pretty good. But I kind of found it funny how I don't know if they just like have that like copywritten in their games to be like the musical symbols, but they literally still kept the PlayStation symbols that you could like toggle on or off on the Switch version. I'm like, that's weird.
What?
That's gonna mess with somebody's brain. Yeah, like the square, like the same colors too, like the pink square, the green triangle, all that shit for like hitting the right notes and stuff, just like the other games. They still kept that in the Switch version. I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm like,
I guess
that's
that's
great for
okay.
people that are using adapters. I
It might
think,
be like a customizable toggle, but I'm like, oh my god, that's just so funny.
dude, like it reminds me of like Switch ports that they forgot to remove the PlayStation buttons.
Yeah. Or I think what I've seen, yeah, I think like Steam games have that issue too sometimes where they'll have like the PlayStation DualShock prompts instead of like the keyboard and mouse stuff.
Oh, like wait for Steam, that's like a different situation, right?
Yeah,
Like because like anything like works with it, right?
pretty much.
But for like if you're trying to look at like shots like on the eShop though, that's a whole different story.
Oh man. But yeah, it just seems like it'd be like a fun part because I know there's a lot of fans for those rhythm games, so figured I'd mention it. I've never really delved with them like too much. I played like a demo of one on like 3DS, which was pretty alright.
I think I
Um,
might have like played some of them at an anime con.
oh yeah, I believe it. It's an anime con after all.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
like if you go to like any anime cons like to the game room, they will guarantee to have this game.
yeah, but yeah, just looks pretty good. But this going on to this next one. Oh man, every time this game gets up there, I'm like, all right, it came out. But I'll get into it in a sec here. But yeah, Super Mario Maker 2 got its final update. I believe yesterday. Yeah, it just came out. And it added quite a few things, but the World Maker mode is kind of nuts. So long story short, there was a trailer they released, I believe, first on Twitter, and it's another update to Mario Maker, I think, or Mario Maker 2, I should specify. I think the last one that they had was the Zelda update, where I guess it was like a power up you could like pick up, and it had like Link's like moveset, kind of like from Zelda 1 and 2 combined,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of neat. But this is this is wild because this is something that like people wanted for forever. I thought at first when I was watching the trailer, like they were just gonna add like the ability to make like one map with like a levels of your choice,
Yeah.
but it's like no, straight up you could do like 8 worlds. And I'm like, this is insane. You can make like if you're creative enough, which granted that's why I don't buy Mario Maker 2 because I don't know, like I enjoy playing other people's levels, but I could never make them, let alone that many. If you wanted to make like your own full Mario game, you could,
Yeah.
which is great.
Give me a moment. Gigi's the door. Okay.
Welcome back.
As you were saying.
Okay, just making sure you were good. But yeah, no, the world maker like thing is like pretty cool if you're creative enough to make those levels. They added a ton of like the old school suits like the frog suit and whatnot. A lot of like the Mario 3 really rare to find like boomerang or like Hambro suits and whatnot. But yeah, it seems like a pretty cool update. Especially with I think one of the boxes that you could like not like a propeller box, but there's like one that's kind of like a bullet bill box that you could use, and you could basically make you could like travel a far distance with like the pretty much like a jet, like going left or right, and you could make all kinds of different levels like that now, where you have to like basically rely on like the fuel and like make difficult areas like that. So there's just way more ways to suffer or make cool levels depending on who you ask. But it seems like it's got a lot of cool gimmicks to it. But man, it is so weird for me because it's like, oh, this is a cool update. I'm still probably not gonna get the game. Cause like I like the Mario series, but like I barely played Mario Maker 1 after like the first month of getting it. It's fine, but man, I think I'm definitely more in the preference of liking the 3D games more. But this is still fun, if people haven't played the game in a while. Definitely, definitely check out the update because it's weird. Mario Maker 2 has like such a weird situation where like a lot of people kind of figured out what the game had to offer in like the first week, so then they just kind of like put off the game for a while and forget that they enjoy it, or like it's one of those weird games where like it came out for some people and then they just forgot. you know it's it's weird, but the update should make for some fun levels and people could enjoy that stuff all over again. So it's cool. At least it's free. But yeah, just a good update. But my god, some of this stuff kind of feels like it should have been day one. But that's just me.
Cool.
But that's pretty much it. Do we move on to the next store?
Yeah, might as well, since all I can say is cool.
I know, but just let me know you're alive. Say like cool, okay. Something. The silence is just like, is he there? He's making a ham sandwich. I don't know.
Okay. So what's going on?
But yeah, we're going on to the next one. So we talked about this last night in DMs, but I still think it's cool to mention it here. So Automata Day 1 update detailed, and it's got a good few a good few options that are like minor, but major, depending on who you ask. I think it's major.
For me, it's a game changer.
Yeah, so this might seem like nothing, but I'll pretty much explain. So last night on Twitter, they, or at least that's where I first saw it, they mentioned that there's going to be a day one update, and I will say, if anybody's curious about Trials Mana, just a slight PSA, if you haven't noticed whenever you check for demos, there is a Trials Mana demo on PS4, Switch, and PC, and it's pretty generous. A lot of Square Enix's demos lately have been very generous. If you want to see if the game's for you, definitely check it out. You get to play like the first few hours of the game. You can pick and choose your party as well, so you can see like different routes and just see if the game's for you. It's a really good demo, before you buy the game for sure. I think. So do you know if it carries over your save data?
Yes, it does carry over your save from the demo.
Okay. So yeah, definitely like a good way to test it. And if you do enjoy it, you can just pick up right where you left off. So I always love those kinds of demos. Like Dragon Quest XI did it as well. And my God, Square Enix, like they're just killing it with these demos. I wasn't a huge fan of Bravely Default 2's, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, going back to this though, they announced that there's going to be a day one update, I believe, tomorrow, and they pretty much added different options for the way you can dash or run, if you will, in this game. Which, like, the normal way was much like how a lot of games do it sometimes, where you pretty much have to hold in the analog sticks to pick and choose, almost like a toggle. But I've never been a huge fan of that. I always like pressing like a trigger or something, or like holding that. It works. But then they said, okay, we got one better. So there's like normal, then there's continuous, where you press the dash button to go into a dash. And then, yeah, actually, no, continuous is pretty much like a straight up auto run feature. Like you can turn it on or off, more or less. But yeah, automatic is where that shit's at, though. Because automatic is where I'm just like, thank God I'm putting that shit on immediately.
Same here,
Where
man.
essentially it's like it says, automatically enter the dash state after 1 second of movement. I love that shit. I mentioned that to Soul as well. Like the first time I played Okami, and it was really cool to have a character just like start walking and then just immediately go into like that run afterwards, like in a seamless like motion without you having to press anything or making it feel clunky. It's so good. So many more games could benefit from that stuff, especially when it's like traversal. I love that shit. So I'm really glad they added that because I'm definitely putting that on for my characters when I play the game tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. But
Hopefully, like I do know this will benefit like in battles as well.
yeah, and it'll definitely benefit a lot of I'd say a lot of Switch users as well. Because clicking the sticks when like you're doing like a handheld mode play is kind of cumbersome, right? Like you're already focusing so much on like holding the entire console in handheld, so it's weird to have to like focus on like clicking the sticks at every time you want to just like traverse. Automatic is great for people who just don't want to worry about it. Period. No matter which way they're playing, that's just good. That's a very excellent feature that is there day one. You don't even have to wait for it. This is not even like a week in or something. Just immediately download that update. Then just enjoy the game better. That's you love to see it. Really do. Um. So yeah, that's cool. Oh, and the PC version, they also said that it doesn't have an update, but it'll be there pretty much day one when you download the game. Anyway. Um. But yeah, that's cool. So, looking at the time, let me just double check.
We're at 2 hours and 9 minutes.
Yeah, we're fine. Man, this is even going to be like 2:30 potentially. Damn. Doing good. So, this is the last one. I'd be remiss to not put this on.
I'm excited for this last one.
I'd be remiss to not put this on because people know or don't know. So Sekishiro video reveals secret past. New promotional character confirmed to be Segata Sanshiro's son.
So,
Oh my god.
so as a
Yeah,
backstory.
you can explain this.
Okay, so I'll explain is that, I think it was like a few weeks ago where Sega was like posted like a teaser, like something for the 60th anniversary, and there was like a silhouette, right?
Yeah.
And people thought it was like, oh, it's like a new Virtual Fighter, or maybe like a Shenmue spinoff, or probably something else. And I think like everyone else were like thinking, oh, it was probably like Virtual Fighter, because it was like posted from a Virtual Fighter fan site.
Yeah.
So when the day come, it turned to be is a new mascot for Sega called Sega Shido, who happens to be like the son of Segata Sanshido, which, funny enough, in real life, is the actor who's playing Sega Shido is the real life son to the actor who plays Segata Sanshido, which, fun fact, is the first Kamen Rider.
God, which is nuts. But yeah.
So they were like showing off like what the new mascot looked like, right? Obviously, like he just walks around. People ask him, and then he just replies, "Sega da yo," or basically, "It's Sega."
God.
And
It's
then
yeah, it's pretty short, but yeah. Good lord.
yeah, pretty much like this man is shilling for Sega. And then
Pretty much.
and then as of like recently, they put up a second episode, which I did not expect. So what they did is that they solely turned this into a tokusatsu like show.
Pretty much. Lord, the backstory for pretty much this mascot that was just, oh my god, like became like an internet just like meme and just like well beloved like marketing
Dude, it was
like
like
for the Saturn.
the greatest marketing like for Sega Saturn because obviously Sega the Sanshiro originally like he's like this mascot for the Sega Saturn, and he was just like shilling and telling you to play Sega Saturn or else he will kick your ass.
Yeah.
And dude, this character is like so amazing to the point where like, as he mentioned, he was good for memes, and he became like his own like character, like a playable character, like as an assist for Project Cross Zone 2.
Yeah.
And a
Oh
little fun
man.
fact for all you Seganders is that if you know about the Soccer Wars commercial that had like Sakura with like at the Sunshido, also had interactions together in Project Cross Zone 2.
God. Yeah.
So
It's insane.
it's there's like lots of things. So in the second episode, right? Is that would you like to describe what happened?
Oh wait, sorry. What was that?
Would you like to describe what happened in the second episode of Sagashido?
Lord. Well, the thing is this episode 2 or is this like is it a different video?
This is episode 2.
Okay. Oh my god. It's so dramatic. I mean, pretty much like you said for the beginning, but the second he's asked, because before I didn't have like any subs, but like Gamatu translated it. Basically when he's asked about why he wears like a white coat, he just has a flashback
Oh wait, hold
of
on.
his dad.
Hold on. Before we get to that, is that in the beginning, right? Like, actually, can you scrub it so we can see the list?
Oh, up
Yeah,
here?
yeah, right there.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, he's playing like on his Game Gear, and some random girl's like, "Oh, are you playing like the new Switch?" He's like, "It's a Sega Game Gear." And then next scene, are those new? Are those sunglasses? And he's like, "It's a Sega 3D glasses."
God.
And finally, like, is that a pack? He says it's a Sega Saturn. And then that's when she asked, like, where, like, the point, like, where Sega should have had the flashback, right? So the flashback happened
Yeah.
is because of the pack. Because
Yeah.
Sega the Sunshido wore that Saturn pack in those commercials.
God. Never forget.
Yeah. So
I still remember his training montage just hitting like a giant Saturn controller.
No, it was it looked like a bootleg PlayStation actually.
Oh my god. Lord.
And then he was also like writing down like Sega over and over again.
And guys, the lore for Sega Tatsujiro is so nuts. This man actually died saving saving the world from a missile implosion. Like he died a hero. But
The man died from a friggin' nuclear missile, dude. And
God, he just made it go completely straight up, avoiding the building I was about to destroy several thousands of people. Lord.
oh my god, and then after that, right, like we saw like a masked like enemy approaching Sega Shido, and he calls himself as Sega Hatan, which is a pun of Sega Saturn, Sega Saturn as in Satan, but also Hatan, which is Japanese for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like on the edge of my seat of what's gonna happen in the next episode.
Good lord. Yeah, I was like what Max said to him, like, oh my god. What's going on? It's so good. Like too much effort for something that's only 45 seconds. It's nuts.
Especially for like a new mascot.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Oh.
dude, I was like so happy like when I heard like this new mascot is appropriately like the real life son who played like a of Sega Sanshiro.
Yeah. Oh man.
Dude,
Yeah, that was cool. That was the last thing I saw last night before going to bed. I was just like, yes.
it was amazing to the point people were like making theories that like the scene like where you see like where Sekata Sanshiro was like living his son and his wife. Like, someone pointed out, like, oh, he didn't want to, like, that's, like, after, like, revealing his relationship with Sakura from Sakura Wars.
Yeah. And he didn't want him to know, so he left.
And then just died.
And then he just dies before anyone finds out. Sounds like a good deal to me.
Oh, man.
Christ, dude. The lore.
The lore in this. Like, I never expect, like, to have lore for a commercial.
God. It's insane. But yeah, it's oh my god, that's just funny. Give it a watch if you guys haven't. Hell, just look up a compilation of all the Sega Tucson Shore commercials. It's great. Um but yeah, that's pretty much it for the last bit of news. And yes, I consider this news because people need to know, damn it.
You need to know about the lore of Sega Shido.
Good lord, some people don't know, but you will.
You will.
It's good shit.
You will, damn it, and very soon you will play some Sega. And then...
Remember the Bomberman one fucks me up.
Dude, my favorite one, like, from like, Sega the Sanshiro was the Christmas one where he, like, disguises Santa.
Yeah.
But the most classic of them all is it has to be the Sakura Wars commercial, which Vex wasn't even aware about until I showed it to her. And had to explain the lore of that.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And the best part is also, like, telling everyone this is the first comm writer. And
pretty much.
Shouts to us of, like, mentioning, like, the first comm writer twice, both in my month and this news.
Like, just so you know. Kamen Rider goes deep. Oh man. But yeah, no, that's great. But that's pretty much it for the news. I can't think of anything else. I mean, you already mentioned like what, I'm looking forward to in a bit with Trials of Mana and future plans. So yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything else. Because I know for you, it's Trials of Mana, like Streets of Rage 4 for like the next few weeks.
Yeah, for me, it's Trials of Mana, Streets of Rage 4, and along with Sakura Wars as well.
Yeah. I have a weird question for you.
Okay.
Could wait till after the podcast. Are you going to be playing Trials of Mana on English or Japanese?
You know what? I'll probably play Japanese. But yeah, I'm gonna see how the English turns out more before I change it. But definitely, if I were to do like a playthrough with Charlotte,
yeah,
definitely Japanese.
That's definitely going Japanese
because holy shit, I don't know why they
destroyed her character with that weird like speech, not impediment, but just like this weird like gimmick.
I like to call it just baby talk, and this is a translation that no one was happy like when they brought over like the official translation for Trials of Mana in the Mana collection.
Yeah. It's just there's a certain way to do it, and y'all destroyed this character.
Yep. So tips for anyone is that if you're planning to get Charlotte in your party, definitely put on Japanese, please, because you don't want to hear baby talk like 24 hours a day.
I feel like the thing for me was that the English was fine, but I could definitely tell that the delivery was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like scene to scene, I was like, it's a bit too all over the place for me to like appreciate these characters.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna go Japanese. I'd imagine the English one is hilarious in its own way, but Yeah, I might appreciate it more if I play in Japanese, I feel. And I'm
Yeah,
usually tolerant to dubs. I don't make this choice lightly.
yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm probably gonna do Japanese anyway, just because. I mean, after hearing, well, the iconic scene with their favorite, like beast men of yelling Carl.
Yeah, that's where for me I was just like this is a bit off. And I know he's going to be on my party, so it's like I got to do Japanese, you know.
Yeah,
Like Reese seemed fine, some characters seemed fine, but it's like I've even seen like other clips for like other characters and I was like, wow, that is weird
yeah,
delivery. And I'm not a professional voice actor or anything, but it's just this thing where it's like you can just tell when it's jarring, right? Sometimes like it does not match with what the scene or like the emotions in the scene are supposed to be. It's really weird like that.
yeah. So far, I can tell you is that like the best character, like English wise, goes to Hawkeye
Hmm.
because
I
Hawk.
could see that. I haven't seen much of him, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty much like if you ever seen like what Hawkeye looks like, you can imagine of how he would sound like.
Yeah. God. So I might do like Japanese and maybe like English. Oh no, but that would have no, I can't do English with the rest of the party.
No,
Uh
you got to go one or
I
the other.
definitely can't. Not with her. Damn it. It'd be like that. But yeah, I was just curious on that.
Nah, it's fine.
Um
Let's see. Yeah, so definitely got like a Sucker Wars coming soon.
yeah, that's coming out. When is the release date for that game?
It's next week around the 28th. That's a couple days before Streets to Rage 4.
Okay. I've actually heard it's pretty good. Um I think there was an update. Like the combat seemed a little weird from like impressions that I heard, but like
All
they're releasing like a patch in the West that makes it actually play better.
all I know is that the combat is actually more playable because like the patch like that's gonna come with the North American release is they finally
Yeah,
add in lock on, which I'm
yeah.
surprised they didn't do that before.
I'm surprised at that too. So I'm like, yeah. Thankfully, people who buy it in the West like wouldn't deal with it being clunky, but hopefully the gameplay is serviceable. But I imagine like the antics and like the music and everything is gonna be like pretty good. So
Yeah, and I
hopefully you
mean,
enjoy it. I don't know when I'd get around to it myself.
yeah, I mean, I can definitely can tell you is that like for a series like Sakura Wars, right? Is it's something yeah I can tell that people are more focused on the characters and story
Yeah,
rather than the combat. Like the combat, like I barely see anyone talk about because
yeah, and that's what I expect too, right? Like even after playing Trails, I'm like that's pretty much the same vibe. It's there, but it's not the reason how I love the series so far.
yeah, at least we know with Trails I can get like very involved with it. But I mean, whenever like I'll get you to play like the original Sakura Wars, like when you stream it, right? You will understand
Yeah.
why no one barely talks about the combat after I experienced it.
Oh yeah. No, I can definitely imagine. Which is kind of funny. Like nobody's gonna talk about the story of like Trials of Mana as well, because the gameplay is really like where it shines, and it's just like gonna be a fun game. That's the thing too. When I go into this game like tomorrow potentially, I'm not expecting it to be like this amazing story. It's gonna blow my mind.
Oh
I
yeah,
just expect it to be simple and fun, right? And that's it. That's all it has to be.
yeah, definitely like the best tip like I will give you along with everyone else is that for Trials of Mana like the story is pretty aight, but
Yeah.
I mostly just treat it like an East game where I mostly just
Pretty much. Yeah.
focus on
Exactly like that.
gameplay.
Yeah.
Um, I was able to look at something else. I also working on on a personal project, but I will let you know like on the next
Yeah.
episode.
Is it strictly internet based or personal, real life?
No, it's just what you would call it, tinkering based with machines.
Oh, okay. Cool. Um, then yeah, I mean nothing else for me outside of that. At some point I'd like to get good at video editing, but I need to find the program that just works with this laptop. This
Oh,
laptop's been giving me issues the last few days
I was gonna
with
say like
OBS and whatnot.
yeah, so I was gonna say it's still Vegas still been giving you the attitude.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Okay, because definitely after this, I'm gonna send you like another program that hopefully might work.
oh, for video editing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might mess with it. Usually for this, for like the podcast, it's easy because it's weird. I guess for slight context for people, um, it doesn't have an issue when it's just like a single thumbnail image and just like a podcast going over it, no problem with rendering. It's footage that has a hard time. Sometimes they'll give me a black screen when I try to comb through the footage, which is very hard considering what I want to do. You know, with like potentially like reviews or like just like thought pieces on like after like finishing a game. I'd like to just do that, just like kind of talk about like my thoughts after playing through a game or impressions and whatnot. I'd love to do that just really quickly, with some footage here and there. It'd be pretty easy to do. um but yeah, it's hard to do when Vegas does not let me see the footage and preview, because it sometimes just plays with a blindfold, so that's fun. So yeah, I need to find the program that works for me because I tried looking up solutions and nothing worked.
Yeah.
Uh, that's always fun.
Let's hope like this program like I'm gonna send you after this works. And
Yeah, we'll
this
see.
the other thing I'm also hoping like it works pretty soon when this podcast releases, that if you may notice that I may sound different this time is I'm using this new program called RTX Voice, which is a new app which uses an AI to basically block most of your background noise whenever you're like in the conversation with like lots of background noise.
Yep.
And let's hope it turns out pretty good. Little fun fact is that in case you're interested in using this app, you don't need an RTX card. This actually works on most of the like the 1000 on the GTX cards, like the 1000s and I believe the 900 as well. Yeah.
Then hopefully it works.
Yep.
But yeah. Were you gonna say anything else though before we call it?
Nope. I think that's about it.
Okay. Then yeah, I mean we're gonna call it here pretty much because don't need to ramble for too much longer. Like I said, I don't want to. I didn't want this to go to 3 hours, so thankfully this will be brief, and this will definitely be like last time where it might be out tomorrow, if not Saturday, because I'm trying to do. And the only reason I say maybe Saturday is because if rendering gives me an issue, but it certainly won't be because of audio editing. Because I just do a quick cleanup, look for any of the times where like you were interrupted or something, and like we had to like pause and cut that out, and that's it. I'm trying not to edit these nearly as much because it does not warrant the effort for the amount of people that are probably going to watch this. Not saying that I don't respect the viewers, but at some point you got to be lazy with it. I guess what's the expression? Return on investment, I guess. Not really monetarily, but you know what I mean. It's just a thing where I'm like, I spent too many hours trying to audio edit that stuff before, so I'm trying to see if this is still acceptable for everybody. But yeah, I guess let me know if this is fine, in the future. But yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next month, yeah, in May. Probably before Xenoblade Chronicles comes out, I'd imagine, because that's like towards the end of the I was about to say end of the year. No, end of the month. Oh, could you imagine? I'd die. Oh, that'd be torture. But no, yeah, probably before that game comes out, somewhere like mid-May or in the early 20s, we'll probably record the next one. But yeah, hopefully you guys, I guess one last thing. Oh, I really should have brought this up at the start when you were mentioning like stuff that people could do. I didn't put it on the news, but I guess if anybody was curious and does not know about it, so really quick PSA, on PSN, I believe, Journey and the Uncharted collection are completely free to download on PSN. Just because I think it's like their play at home initiative, essentially, just like other companies where they give out like free games. I think those are free till like May 5th, so it'll go away soon. But if by some chance anybody watches this beforehand, get that shit. It's free. Uncharted collection's like 3 games. Like, even if they might not be like your cup of tea. Sorry, tongue op. It's still worth it. So yeah, definitely get on that stuff. Free games. Be on the lookout for that stuff too as the year goes on. A lot of companies are being pretty generous, which is pretty cool to see. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can find me. Well, you already found me on YouTube, but find me on Twitch. Usually streaming pretty regularly, especially when a game that I'm looking forward to comes out. So Trials of Mana will probably be every day. I'll try to make progress when I can. But yeah, just looking forward to other stuff in the year. And if not, if I do get this drought, I'm definitely streaming more of the Trail series because that's my biggest thing for this year. But yeah, either way, find me on Twitter as well. Links, social media links in the description. And where can they find you at, Soul?
Well, they can find me at Fatal Bracer Soul on Twitter. And who the hell knows when I turn up on Twitch? Also, the same handle as well. But mostly you can just find me around like on Twitter, just retweeting stuff, talk about stuff here and there. But definitely you'll see me just like hang around in this man's Twitch chat.
Yep, pretty much all the time. uh, but is that it though for you?
Yep.
All right, then that'll do it for us. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Later, dudes.
Laters.